Welcome to episode 4 of On the Rocks. I'm Marcellus Wiley with the shortest bio here because I am your homie. I am that dude. Y'all know the rest. I'm not going to try and impress. But to my right, somebody might. His name is Bucky Brooks.
Mike?
You, Mike.
Do I got to go through the whole thing again?
No, please don't. Please don't. We are good.
Oh, okay. No, I'm good. Like, I'm excited. We had a good football weekend. We got some sad guys here. Some guys that I'm worried about. Send some prayers, thoughts and prayers up after the game. But no, it's going to be fun. I got Hatch, got Penn. I'm ready.
Sir.
There you go.
Building.
What we got over here?
What's up, guys? My name is Daz, friend of the show, professional chef. Been playing sports since I was 6.
Who's your favorite team? Who's your favorite team?
Who's your favorite team?
That is not the normal excitement we get from you.
You get, right?
And you better not put the Pistons over the Lions.
No, the Lions is my favorite team. I'm still rocking with the Lions. Lions and the Lakers.
All right. Cancun, baby.
I'm Richie P, and I have no opinions at all.
Yeah, right. Talk all day.
CARVER Wright, good friend, father, and Eagles fan. Go Birds.
Let's go.
Okay.
Here we go, DPG.
Donald Penn, I'm looking forward to this. I am. I done shut down some of your best DNs.
Whoa. That's you? That's you. Your boy Hatch is in the building today. Let's go. We ready to get it
Oh,
on.
let's go. All right. We saw it. It lived up to the hype for me. Buffalo versus the Baltimore Ravens. We saw the Bills go out there, play the Ravens. Great game, came down to the wire. I could not pick where my heart really was because I played in Buffalo and I am a Buffalo Bill and this Bill's Mafia. But damn it, I love me some Lamar Jackson and how the Ravens get after it. But this game had a lot of moments where you could point and say, that's why they won, that's why they lost. Let's start with you, Bucky. Buffalo Bills advanced. AFC Championship game. What'd you see in that game?
Baltimore's too emotional. They're just too emotional. Like, they can't win. They'll never win until they curb some of the emotion. Like, Lamar Jackson, week leading up, talked about in those moments he's failed because he's been too antsy. And they have a great opening drive. And then here comes that Lamar Jackson again, all antsy, throwing the ball away. Then we fumble and give it away. Like, the Baltimore Ravens will not win until they learn how to avoid losing. Until they just do the simple things or whatever. Take the emotion out of it, execution. And when I looked at the Buffalo Bills, I didn't see a whole lot of emotion. I just saw them like, let's just take care of business, and that's what it is. And so until Baltimore takes that tact, look, they're always going to be the best.
Let me say this, because you just inserted what Bill Belichick told me one time, and I swear it's one of my favorite quotes. He says, more games are lost in the NFL than won. So he's like, in those moments, just be even keeled. Trust you got here for a reason. You don't have to do more. Just do the same. And a lot of times in those moments, you think you got to do more, and you end up doing less.
Hey, man, it was a great game. I think that I was impressed with Josh Allen. He balled. I wanted Lamar Jackson to get that win just because I knew he needed it for his career, for his mental stability. I think that, a lot of us talking about, does it affect his career? We were talking about he was going to get MVP. So I wanted him to get that win. I was hoping that he caught the ball at the end to push it to overtime maybe, 2-point conversion, but it didn't work out. And the Bills, they look good, man. So we'll see what happens.
Well, I wouldn't say, I'm not going the Bills look good. The Bills did enough. I don't know about looking good. What you think?
I think the Bills did what everybody expected them to do when it comes to saying, okay, we're going to win barely, and then everybody think Kansas City's going to blow them out this week, and then they're going to play the exact same game, because that's what they do. The Bills are going to play that type of game, be in it to the fourth quarter, and then that man Josh Allen has to make a couple plays. He just hadn't made them in the past. But this week, if he makes those plays in the fourth quarter, then I think they'll beat Kansas City, and everybody's going to look at it like, we don't like those type of games. But that's the way Buffalo wins games. It's not going to be pretty all the time.
Yeah, different style.
Different style.
On your point, you know what scares me, though? Kansas City team knows how to pull these games out. So Buffalo gives Kansas City a chance to come back at the end. Kansas City is going to make that catch. They've been there before. They've done it. But the thing I want to get to is just Lamar, man. It's just it's the same. Man, hey, it's the same. Man, no, because I just feel
I feel like Lamar just came back to the huddle and started playing like.
I just feel so bad for him because I feel like the world and everybody wants to see him take that next step, and he's so close. And then when you look at the way they did lose, two of the biggest things were on him. One, I mean, he just dropped the ball. Yeah. The other one, that pass is just.
What are you trying to do?
And then when you say that emotion, he's showing. You got to jog off and bounce back. You're the leader, and we won it. But if we go back to our MVP talk.
That's why it's Josh. That's why it's Josh. You trying to go there already? We're gonna hold that back.
The mic on.
I know those moments are critical, but sometimes. 15 yards rushing. Thank you. He had 90 yards passing in the fourth quarter. Like I was like, God, I don't want to go down that tour just yet. Let's hear what Richie P got.
Well, it's I had a karate instructor who used to say, first you learn how to fight, then you learn how to fight, and I feel like Baltimore has.
It sounded like he took your money. Well, he up there repeating stuff. Your mama just paying. He good.
Philosophers at the barbershop. Dragonfly Joe.
Listen,
Timac. What was his name? Last Dragon. That was he had Timac.
Well, what it means is, and to me, that Baltimore just has it. They know how to fight, but they don't know how to fight. And when you know that second fight, that's how you know how to win, right? So we're talking about the emotions, taking the emotions out, making it plain and simple, having the confidence. That's the second part of knowing how to fight. The first part is the fundamentals. They have all of that. But somehow they just don't have the mental that gets them over the hump. And I'm just wondering how long it's going to take, what is going to take for them to get there. And how is he going to break through that? Because maybe there's too much pressure. Maybe the coaches aren't taking it off of them during the week. But they know how to fight, but they don't know how to fight.
Man, let me bring it to football terms, what you just said. And please hold that mic with your pinky on it, too, because that R&B, like, he real Albie Shore with the mic. Like, okay, let me stop. Here we go. Hey, coach used to say, like, football, they say, is a game of skill and a greater game of will. So when you're saying fight, it's real. Like you get on the field and you do your best move, he gets you, okay, I got to go get a different move. Or I got to set that move up better. I got to get my counter move. Now you have left the skill department because he's 6'6", 330. Tomorrow I can move too. Now Walter Jones looking at you, Donald Penn looking at you, and you're like, all right, I got to see if you want it as bad as I want it, right? And that's where you're talking where Baltimore will go. Carver. Baltimore didn't go there. Where are they right now?
Yeah, I mean, they're at the crib right now. They in Cabo. They're about to get on that plane to Cabo or Cancun.
But mentally,
right now.
they body there, but they mind ain't there.
Yeah, no, man. I think the biggest thing, man, is just like Lamar Jackson's like a Barry Bonds. He's a home run hitter, you know. And so instead of taking that single that the team needed, he's trying to scramble. He's getting tangled up. He's trying to scramble. Poor ball security, and that's what caused the fumble. And just him wanting that big play instead of working within the offense is what caused all the trouble that they had. It was 2 plays away from winning that game, or at least being more into the game than they were. I think that one thing that Buffalo did well was, I mean, they played within their offense. They didn't try to be superhero. Like you say, he had 90 yards in the fourth quarter. And they just played within their game plan. Now we all know what Josh Allen can do, but he stayed within the game plan, and that's why they were successful.
So let me ask you this, right? So Baltimore lost by 2, right? We know they dropped the 2-point conversion.
Oh.
Then they're like
That was
a
Lamar's
field goal.
That was
right.
Lamar's fault.
That was Lamar's
So
fault.
right, it wasn't.
Pause that. You're breaking that field.
It wasn't Lamar's fault.
People are breaking this down and actually having some points on he didn't execute the play properly.
It was a fault. Like, okay, so Lamar, he was so open that I didn't want to blow the layup.
Right, so I put it on him.
So I took some off of it,
which makes the receiver expect the bullet.
How about this? Before that, did y'all see Lamar see him open and do like this? He literally aimed the shot. He went. And then he threw it. And look, it still was a pass you're supposed to catch. He catches that 101
But it
times
throws
out of
off
100.
the receiver for the perception of the ball coming a hard
Like in the
soft
wiffle ball.
pass. Yeah.
The wiffle ball is
Yeah.
Yeah, but the perfect pass, coach says, is the one he can't drop. Like a lot of times quarterbacks, I tell my itty bitties there, they're like, I threw a perfect pass. I was like, did he catch it? No,
Then
well,
it
it
ain't
wasn't perfect
perfect.
then. Somehow, some way, that connection has to be intact. All right, break that.
You got to see the ball all the way in. You got to see the ball. Look,
You got
gotta
four
see
fat.
the ball.
You got four fat boy touchdowns.
Hold
And now
on.
he talking
Hold on. That's how it was
receiver
taught to me.
talk.
That's how it was
Yeah,
taught to
you
me.
slowed the tempo down for
That's
that.
how it was taught to me. You got to see the ball all the way into your hands.
You do. You really got to be
He took
hypnotized
it
by the ball.
off, and then he tried to get it again the second time.
Oh, and then he slipped that Buffalo ice. You can't feel your fingers. I was just in Buffalo a few weeks ago. You can't feel your fingers. It's
Yeah.
crazy. So,
But are we saying that Baltimore is a bad team and they need to change stuff, or are we saying they're going to be right there next year? Because it sounds like they didn't play that bad. There were 2 plays from winning the game.
I feel with Bucky. I feel exactly what you're saying. That they just got to get over that. Lamar has to get over that hump. They have to stop feeling sorry for themselves. They have to come out here and they have to find a way. They have to find a way.
yeah, let me add a little levity to this, a little joke right here. Post. I'll be remiss, the day after King Day, respect Martin Luther King Jr. and family. We could have all black quarterbacks.
You saw that too?
You know this ain't my lane. This ain't my lane, but I was like, what y'all talking about over there? I thought about that. Was that going to be something? Was that?
That was going to be the first time.
it
was going to be the first time ever, but I think that would have been a good
It was
moment
going to
for
be
the
something
NFL.
because I would say in the last decade, the quarterback position has completely changed.
Absolutely.
It went from being you have the anomaly, like you have like the Michael Vick types, you have the runaround guys, but
Cam here and there.
but
right.
now
They're
you're
all-
legitimately talking about like the black quarterback kind of being the soup du jour. Like that's kind of what we're looking for. That's what we expect. We see it in college. We're seeing it in the pros. And I don't know if any of us ever envisioned almost having a Final Four where all the quarterbacks would be black.
I did, and I'm going to tell you why. And I don't call it the black quarterback just because Elway's my favorite player growing up in Eric Dixon. So I saw a white guy getting it. And then Steve Young, I'm all like, I see these white. So, and we played enough football where you go out, you get on the bus, it's an hour away, you get there, nicer facilities, they look structured, disciplined. You're like, damn, that white dude just, don't let the paint job fool you, right? So I don't like when they put black quarterback, because that's another way they box us in. Like, you're a black quarterback. But I know what you're saying exactly. I knew it was coming because it's the same thing that happened with the running back position. Running backs switched to wide receiver on purpose. You could see them. Like, I'm a 6'1", 210 guy. Oh, I could play running back. I look kind of prototypical. Or let me play that slot right there. Or let me play a different, and you see it. So now every tight end or receiver type, 6'4", 210, them skinny, lean guys that used to be like, throw it to me. He'd be like, no, I'm going to throw it to you. And it's at the Pop Warner youth level, am I correct? So you seeing them, they just grabbing those guys.
But see, like with me being a Raider fan, that's the kind of quarterback I want. I want a mobile quarterback. I want a quarterback that can extend the play, make it easier on the offensive line, save us sometimes with their feet. Yeah. That's the new prototype. And me, if I was a GM or if I was starting off a team, that's what I'm looking for, and that's what's taking over.
Fun fact, when did this hit the NFL? Because I saw it at the youth level because I coach, and I was like, damn, they taking all the receivers and making them quarterbacks. Damn, they took all the running backs and made them receivers. And you just always see it, and then they take the fullbacks and say, go play linebacker. Like we see it. Y'all know when it happened? Wildcat. Peep game. When the Wildcat hit, that was the first time the coordinators had to swallow. You mean the quarterback ain't even involved in the play, and it still works?
And it's 11 on 11 now.
Yeah, the math, because now it's like.
Yeah, but even then it changed, right? Because let's go back, because we're talking about Lamar Jackson. 2018, that draft, they're talking about Lamar Jackson, who had 2 seasons at Louisville with 1,500 rushing yards, played in a pro-style offense with Bobby Petrino, but yet you had prominent people saying he needs to go play wide out.
I remember that.
So just think, in 2018, now we're 2025, just in that 7-year span, we're talking about how it's changed. Look, high school coaches started the trend. When high school coaches started taking the best athlete and say, we're going to put you at quarterback because you touch it every time. You have the biggest impact on the game. Mike Holmgren used to talk about the quarterback position, and he would say this: I want a quarterback who's athletic. I don't want an athlete playing quarterback because you want the nuance, Jaden Daniels, the nuance of being able to play from the pocket and do all that other stuff, but give me the bonus with your legs and everything else.
It's funny
Hey, the
that-
future of the black
outlaw-
quarterback is strong, though, man. You think about Jaden Daniels, you think about Shador coming up next year. Like,
Everybody's not on.
Yeah. I don't do the whole you coming because you got to go take your lumps. Peyton Manning was coming, like, and it took his. But I know what you're saying.
But you gotta look at the white quarterbacks. They're starting to adapt too. They're starting to be running quarterbacks. Look at Howard.
Look at Bo
I mean,
Nix,
look at the
like,
guy.
let me get that.
Look at the guy that just transferred from Miami. They're knowing what they need to do because they want to stay up above this
It's just
curve
like
and they
when-
want to stay.
We used to have the monopoly on dancing. Remember that? And then it was like, the other white girl could dance. And then we had the monopoly on bodies. We had the monopoly on the booties. Don't go to Arizona, dog.
Started getting the gym memberships, and it was over.
Straight to the point. All right, let's transition because there were more games. We're going to get through them all. Dearly beloved, we're gathered here today.
Talk about this thing called life.
Wow. This Detroit-Washington game, crazy enough, was predicted by some people on this show. And crazier than that, when it was happening, I couldn't deny it. I couldn't even, I'm like, it's happening. And matter of fact, why didn't I see this coming? Because, like, there's no way a guy like Jared Goff, once you get him off track, off rhythm, hey, when he's off script, it's a whole different animal. And Jaden Daniels is like, whatever you draw up, let's make this happen, Captain. So what did you see in that game?
Okay, first thing about Jaden Daniels, I knew Jaden Daniels was cool when he ran to the sideline and someone smacked him. He was like, oh, we good? That's how we playing today? And we good. He wasn't rattled. To me, his poise, his confidence, his composure, like he is one of those things that you look for in a franchise quarterback. Like he has the it factor and all that other stuff. And Jared Goff, and I've said this, and I want people to relate, when you play in the playoffs and you play at home, sometimes I feel like it's more pressure on you than the opponent because all the anxiety that the crowd feels, you feel on the sideline. So the longer that the Lions were behind, the more you could feel it like tensing up and tightening up and all that other stuff. And it's a patience game. The Washington Commanders play zone, and old defense coordinator Willie Shaw used to say this. When quarterbacks get paid, back at the time, it was Dan Marino, they're making $20 million. He was like, no quarterback wants to make $20 million throwing checkdowns all day. At some point, they're going to get greedy. Your job on defense is to catch the overthrow. So the first interception, there's a guy, you can see on tape, there's a guy wide open in front of him, like 5 yards, check down. Now I'm going to push it. And when he made that first interception, I was like, uh-oh, here they go. And it just kind of begins to snowball because as the Commanders are riding high, the tension, I know you felt it at the house. You looking at the clock, you're like, man, we down. Like, here we go.
I want you to go last because I want everybody to throw some dirt on your grave before you finally try and rise.
So Marcellus, that's what Bucky is saying is pressure either makes diamonds or it bursts pipes, and the pressure burst the Lions' pipes. That was clear as day. That game never looked like the Lions were going to win to me. Not one single second.
I feel that.
Not one single second.
Did they even win a coin flip? I don't even know if like who's saying? Did y'all have Jello do the halftime or something?
That's how you should
Y'all
know.
gimmicky.
That's
Y'all-
part of that home field advantage in the playoffs that you doing too much because the away team just coming in saying it's us against the world. We ain't got no pressure. Let's just go have fun, ball. Nobody expects us to be here. And all of a sudden, third quarter, we winning? We up?
They done messed around. We can get this.
You messed up and let us get in the game, right?
And Washington played so free. It was like backyard football with the whole, with 300 pounders. It was beautiful.
I'm gonna give you my theory on why they look free, and it's really a personality type. So I witnessed this with Peyton Manning. He was so tightly wound as a personality that when it was normal moments, regular season moments, we're all just battling this marathon to get in position for the postseason. Oh, you couldn't stop Peyton Manning. Why? Because these moments to us are like progression, and to him, it's end all. And I was like, okay. And then he gets into the end all moments, the playoffs, and then it's like he too tight. One thing off, it's a wrap. He ended up conquering that the year after. Lamar Jackson's in the 7th year, going to 8th. Peyton finally started to get after it. Year 8, he got there, lost again. Year 9, let me give me a championship, etc. I look at this situation the same way. Like, Jared Goff is Peyton Manning to me in terms of mental makeup. You can see, like, oh my God. And then when something's not right, it all goes wrong. What you guys see in this?
I'm gonna be honest, man. It came down to, again, kind of like what Lamar Jackson did. He was trying to do too much. Like, he threw 5 turnovers he was responsible for. And one came at the very end, so call it 4, right?
He's like, don't give me that receiver pick.
But I mean, he was just trying to throw the haymaker when all you needed was a jab. Yeah, you know, he just played within the offense, and I think he would have been just fine. But I mean, you got Jaden Daniels in there that honestly lucky to beat, you know, the Buccaneers last week, and then now he's in there with the Lions. It's like, I'm not supposed to be here anyway. You know what I mean? Like, I'm playing with house money. If we lose, that's fine. No one picked us to win.
Let's go to that. That's a good lane, because I hate when pressure is always described as, I ain't got nothing to lose. But I've done as many push-ups as you. I've done as many like run around the track as you. I've done everything you've done. I'm in this moment. It actually means so much to me that I'm like, I'm just gonna do me. And sometimes when you do you in those moments, people think, oh, you playing with house money, or you ain't tripping. It's like, nah, I'm supposed to be here. And he went at it like that. Is it like that?
It's not about the moment. It's about how you prepared for the moment. And that's what he's saying. It's like that whole week they were chilling in light. And so the moment wasn't gonna be too big, because it's not about the physical moments. How would you prepare for these last 7 days? That's what came out on Sunday.
And they took Detroit lightly. I mean, they took Washington lightly. And Washington came in there and smacked them in the mouth. Jared Goff has the second best offensive line supposedly in the field. He's been getting protected. He's been getting protected very well. We were able to hide those little flaws. This game, he got rattled. He got hit a little bit, and he showed the true Jared Goff. I'm not saying, I understand he could grow from this and learn to hang in there longer and stuff like that, but they got exposed, and Washington was the best team that day, and I feel like Detroit really came in there and underestimated Washington.
And you lose to a rookie, like your GM, everybody's sitting there like for real, like, okay, give the dad the mic, here we go. This is for you. This is for you. This is your 8 Mile Eminem soundtrack. Here's the thing. Y'all got to be sitting there, and there's nothing wrong with Jared Goff. He's a beast. He's going to always put you in position to think you're going to make it there, but good luck maybe getting all the way over that hump. He made it to a Super Bowl before we get it. If you look at this, you're like, whatever car I'm driving, and this is how I felt before I got my Tesla, whatever car I'm driving, whatever that is, because I got into one, right? I got into some dude, Corey Maggette ran up on me out downtown and leaving the game. He pulled up in this thing, and this happened. I said, wait a minute.
What is that?
What is that? I've never seen, because I only seen it in a sedan, and that thing was like, ah. And I said, oh, snap. He's like, go sit in the big dog. I said, you can't even fit in that thing. It looked too little. Man, I got that thing was moving. It wasn't no knobs. It was just crazy. I was like, what is this? He was like, man,
Spaceship. This is a spaceship.
And then when I was like, I got to get that, I would never be at the gas pump. I would never be in anything. It's like that. When you're Detroit, you're literally looking at everyone getting a Tesla. A Jaden Daniels is out there, right? And you guys have something that will get you from point A to point B, but boy, you ain't gonna want to see it. It's a different animal.
So here's the thing, man. Like, I showed up today because I wasn't ducking no fades, right? And Detroit defense wins games. You can't win a game with 5 turnovers, though, right? So as a fan and understanding football, you cannot win a game at that level with 5 turnovers. So once he started turning the ball over, I was nervous. I do kind of feel that the pressure was on him. He felt the pressure.
That might move in too while you talk. I'm just letting you know.
when you look at it, even minus the turnovers, we were still in the game offensively. Like, had we not had 1 or 2, and we scored, 34, 35 points? I don't know what the final score was, but we scored a bunch of points still. So had we not had those...
45 to 31.
45 to 31.
And it should... I was about to go downstairs. I was about to say, it was about to be 52. I was like, if they score 52,
so
joysticks.
But with that, though, we still scored a lot of points. Yeah, you're supposed to win with 31. We're supposed to win with 31 points. But you can't turn the ball over that many times. And I think that Jaden Daniels, I was impressed with how he played. I hadn't watched him play a lot. So this is my first time I actually watched him play, and I was impressed with the young fella because he went out there and he handled the pressure. He was composed. He balled. So I was like, I might have to root for him to take it all the way. One, just because they beat my team.
You might right now because you still got that Detroit
Well,
blood.
no, I'm still mad. Yeah, I'm still mad.
You converted.
However, 16 people on injured reserve.
Oh, no, we're not doing that.
Nope,
We're not doing that.
It came back and bit us.
My mama didn't call
It
me
came
that
back and
morning.
bit us. It came back and bit us.
It hurt.
It came back and bit us. Like
hurt.
it finally settled
My
in.
girl called and said,
Nah,
it's mine.
it finally settled in. Every game we've been playing, that finally hurt us because we couldn't stop the ball. We couldn't stop them.
We noticed. We watched.
We couldn't stop them.
We sat here and OG was here and said the Minnesota game. He said their guys running butt naked. He said they're butt naked. Now y'all won, but their guys wide open. And Terry McLaurin in the post game presser said we knew they were gonna play man to man.
Yeah.
We felt like this was our day. Good luck. Our guy. Amara St. Brown had called out De'Ami Brown.
And Brown
made it
had a
personal.
great
All of a
game.
sudden,
Had a
we
great
hadn't
game.
seen De'Ami Brown, and all of a sudden he has almost 100 yards.
Yeah.
So
Big catches.
Detroit,
You gotta stop. He talks so much.
Detroit kind of set themselves up a little bit with all that chatter. And I would say this because you talked about being free and easy. Dan Quinn and the culture that they have. So like some of us would say it's cornballish and all that, but like he's very much a relationship, people person, whatever. When they come into competition, whatever, I felt like the team took on his personality. They were loose and free. He got his hat on backwards. He's a Run DMC guy, like all that other stuff. You got to be who you are. But I felt like they were very true to their identity, and the coach set the table.
I feel like bringing Bobby Wagner in was a big part of that too. Like that was great. Bobby's been there, rebuilt. He's been through this, and for him to even come to that team, it gave that team faith and hope. But I want to get back on that. I never gave people bullet board material when I played. I might talk after, but not before the game. I praised them. I don't care if I was going to get somebody sorry. I was having the worst year. I praised, oh man, it's going to be tough this week. My worst cut out for me. I don't know. These guys just.
You know, I battle that because I always say, all right, there's two sides to that. I didn't care what I said because I assumed you were already going 100%. So no matter what I say, I'm not getting more out of you. But I come to realize not everybody prepares the same. And some cats are going to chill and they're going to just relax through that preparation. I'm going to give you my normal. Oh, what you say? So I went from 97, my normal is 97, to 100. And that's when you start to ignite somebody.
Exactly. Like I'm cool. But don't poke the bear.
But hold on, what is poking the bear? See, I don't get these
You
things.
do a little.
Hold on, if
You do a little
chilling,
something. You do a little something extra.
What's extra? Extra is a penalty. You're not giving me extra. If you
not
give
when
me,
we played.
Well, my coach said there's no
Not when
such
we
thing as
played.
110%. Because if you
Nah,
gave me
you do a
100,
little
you ain't
extra,
got 10 more.
Doing a little push.
You ain't got 10 more if you gave me 100.
On the pile, your hands get up in my. Your hands
Okay,
get up
so
in my face.
that's called penalty.
Your hands get anywhere near my face.
That's Rodney Harrison, my guy.
And then if you think you're better than you are, you make one little play and something
It's
might
the, it's
happen.
the
Like
energy, though.
It's just.
And you're right. You're right. If you're emptying the bucket, there shouldn't be anything. But we all wake up looking for something. We always, when you're playing, you always looking for. And then in the Twitterverse, you always scroll. What you say?
Ninja, what?
Oh,
Ninja.
It's on. Like, 100%. I'm living for that. I'm living for that.
Really?
Since high school, I've always lived. What'd you say?
Okay, let me ask you this. Since you're looking for it, don't you already just imagine it's already there, though? 'Cause I don't have to look. I know there's haters. I know they.
Yeah, but if you give it to me where it's a quote, if it's a hip hop quotable, and I can spit it back to you while we play.
gotta see it.
I'm
Gotta see the
I'm
visual.
looking at it as a left tackle. My job already hard enough.
That part.
Why am I going to make you harder? Man, hey, we might start mixing up during the game where I already know, okay, boom, boom, boom. But I already know me, and I'm going to go into the game killing, but I'm not going to make it.
See, I'm with Hatch, except I remember when cats were challenging me, like, you empty the bucket, but it's a drop left. And then I realized you can't tickle yourself, right? Like, you're like you try. There's other things you can't do as well either. But you can't tickle yourself.
I've never heard that one.
I've never heard. But somebody else could be. But so, like,
I've never heard that.
I ain't playing for who I played for. What my championship? Oh, I'm doing it right now.
Hold on.
Boy, you tickle me for real? I'm peeing everywhere. dog. It's a wrap.
It don't work. It don't work.
I can't right now with you.
I never heard that one.
Hey, one thing I don't do, though, one thing when I played, though, I never forgot.
What?
I never forgot. You might get a sack on me, I play you again. You ain't gonna get a sack on me again.
Oh.
You might not get a sack on me the rest of your life.
Oh, if I dance,
I play against John Abraham.
Bees.
When I first came in the league, Tampa, when I tell you, he used to get in the track stand 70 yards away
Yes,
from
sir.
me.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Come
The
on.
hardest bull rush I ever had to stop, like full speed. This is my second year in the league, first year starting. My first time playing them, I gave up a sack. My second time playing them, I gave up 2 sacks.
Hold on,
The
you
second-
just said that you don't give up a sack.
Hold on. Can I finish my story? This is my second year in the league.
Let it come
my
out.
second year in the league,
It
first
don't
year
matter.
starting.
No
Okay?
matter.
Second game, I gave him 2. The second sack, he bull rushed me to the quarterback and knocked him down. I played John Aram maybe about 9 times, 10 times after that. He ain't never got a sack on me the rest of his career.
He already got 3.
He already got 3. He was
My
done.
first year.
He was done. He was done.
My first year.
He
Hall
ate
of
that
Fame
food.
on
Come on, man. Come on. Man, you gotta understand that. You gotta come build. That was in his prime. Come on.
No, that was
That's
not his
funny.
prime because I went to the Pro Bowl with John. He played well for a long
Atlanta?
time. That means you were balling. I give you that.
In
New
Atlanta?
York, New York was his prime.
New York was his prime.
You don't think
You're right.
Atlanta was his prime?
No,
he
New
was
York
the
was
Jets.
his prime.
Early-
But he
Atlanta?
balled.
I
He
played
balled
with-
both
I played
places.
with the Jets.
Well,
He
let's
was
go.
the
Let's
animal.
go. Since we want to go travel
my
east and
bad.
talk about all of these additions, you go last because it's time to talk about them Eagles, man. Eagles beat the Rams. Still, my son is like, the Rams made the playoffs. Every time I was like, yeah, the Rams played the Eagles today. The Rams made the playoffs. Like, it kind of snuck up on everybody how good they were, how well they were playing, and they were that close. But those conditions, I hate them. I don't care what fan thinks they love to see us out there slipping and sliding in Michelin suits. I'm not the one. I'd rather you see me at my best, not at my worst with my brakes on, but it still is a win for the Philadelphia Eagles. Starting with you, Bucky, what'd you see and how did they get past the Rams?
Okay, so the Eagles are very emotional too. But I would say the Eagles have copied the Kansas City Chiefs recipe. Whatever they need to do on a given day to win,
They're going to do that.
they can do that.
Yeah.
Like, they frustrate you in terms of like A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. You would like to see them get more touches in the passing game. But if they can run the ball, they're just going to run it. They just do whatever they need to do to win. And because they're a superior talent when it comes to their team and how they construct it up front, because they invest in the offensive and defensive lines, they beat you up and they just wear you out. They make me worry, though, because that emotional side that you see from their coach, I do worry, will it catch up with them in the championship game? Because they are a bit of a roller coaster, as the city is. But they get it done, and they have so much talent that, look, man, we talk about the X's and O's, but the Jimmys and Joes. Their Jimmys and Joes are better than the other opponent.
DP, they said up front, that's the best O-line in the game. It's some big, I ain't gonna lie, it's some big boys up there. I used to
Makai
go against
Becton at guard? Makai Becton, 350 at
I
guard?
said, oh, God. I remember those days, John Runyon and them boys and Trey Thomas. They ain't stopped. What you seeing?
But you remember last week we were all talking about if the Rams D-line could play up to how they played.
They got
and
their
I
sacks.
really felt like they did. I
They
feel
did.
like
Yeah,
they
Verse
really
is a dude.
exposed
Yeah,
them,
Verse.
and they really did a lot. And the Rams really came with it. I think that was one of the things. That new D coordinator that the Rams got this year, he's really got them boys playing. And I'm with you. I never thought the Rams were going to make it this far, but like they just stay even keel. They just kept creeping up on people. But I am scared. I don't think Philly really does scare me because there was many times in that game where they could have said, hey, it's over with.
Should've knocked
We're
them out.
done. Should have been done, but they kept
point.
giving them a chance.
Great point.
They kept letting them creep back in. And then at the end, they finally made a play. But that's the typical Philly. They always make a play when they need to, but that might wear out eventually.
I don't think they made the play. The Rams blew a simple protection with the center turning the wrong way,
I
and
know
they
what you're
let
talking
the
about.
D tackle
Yeah, I
come
know
in,
what
and
you're
that
talking
was
about.
the sack.
Yeah,
They was gonna lose that
It
game.
almost happened a couple of times early in the game, and he doubled it and
Right,
went back.
right.
I don't know why they were making
I
that
don't know if
mistake. It
it's
was something
communication.
so
Cam Jurgens.
simple. Yeah,
Cam
it was a couple
Jurgens.
times where he
First
came back and got him.
right.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's something that
First year starting, game is big for everybody.
Right.
First big,
Especially
it's
in
snow,
Philly.
It's big.
Snow,
It's
Philly.
Everybody
What?
Lord.
What's the protect? We're sliding where?
you start seeing ghosts.
Who's the mic?
You start seeing ghosts.
I can't
seeing
hear.
ghosts.
Like it's big for everybody.
When they start doing this, you know he rattled. He's like, no, you can't hear this.
But like I think that the Rams lost that game in that moment more
Yeah.
than Philly made a play in that
True
moment.
that.
Yeah, they
Buffalo
got
game
the
is
sack,
really
you know, and he was celebrating. But again, just for the simple protection to get turned the wrong way, I just think the Rams blew that.
So why isn't Saquon talked about as MVP?
For the league?
For the league.
The voting's done.
I mean, you're supposed to only regular season, but even then, I get
He was in it.
He didn't
He
put
was
the
in
cherry
it.
on top with the last game. And
Oh, we got them fresh legs though.
You got the
You
fresh
see how he
legs.
looking?
He
200
he
yards,
looked great.
fresh.
But
His leg been shaking the whole time. Yeah, his leg over here been shaking the whole time.
The reason
His
for
leg
your
been shaking
the
whole
reason for
time.
your answer is because it's got to fit the NFL's quota of quarterback first, running back as a played out position. If we give the NFL running back the NFL MVP, then all of a sudden these running backs are worth more money all of a sudden. They ain't gonna make that happen. They ain't gonna make it. So, like I said, it's quarterbacks only MVP, unless the numbers are just so crazy that you can.
But
pass
to
up
his point,
MVP.
he's right. You got to go with the flow, and the flow for the NFL is protect those quarterbacks. That's our biggest investment. That brings more people to the stadium. I have a 4-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 9-year-old. If we went by position, they know quarterbacks. They know teams, and they know quarterbacks. The best, it could be Saquon. He's the best player on their team, right? Who? What? And I'm like, it's just that way. So I do understand where you're
I have a question for you, going back to the Eagles and the Rams. How much does a team from the West Coast or another weather condition, how much does that affect coming in?
A lot.
Does that affect it a lot?
And I would like to tell these coaches and GMs, when you're playing an East Coast game, go out a week early.
Oh my!
Get your
so we can go hang out?
No, you're not
we can
going
go
to
smoke
kick it. You're going to get your body you're going to get
So we can go to the.
No, we're going to get your
See, we're not
body.
going to the Becky Ballet.
No, we ain't doing that.
Another city, I'm not going to the ballet.
Oakland.
No,
Hey,
we
in
ain't doing
Oakland,
that.
when we went to Florida for a week,
That's
you can
different.
do that in Florida.
That's different, right?
This game.
Right.
We went 2-0 out there, though.
Right. But the money that you guys are spending in the NFL, right? If you're gonna go to Philly, you just go out. If you don't have to be in Philly, but go out to the East Coast somewhere so your body and your mind can
100%.
get
Yeah, that's
acclimated
real.
to that
100%.
weather, and they're not just coming out in
100%
12
agree.
hours trying to get used to it.
I don't agree,
Because
but I get
we
it.
used to say it wasn't
I
a
don't
big
agree.
deal, but over all these years, we have all the data, so obviously there's some different.
seen-
that needs to be
I've
happening.
seen playing in Oakland.
Pull up.
Playing in Oakland.
Where you at, Meek?
The NFL always, the Raiders always play the Chiefs at the end of the season. Chiefs always come out to Oakland at the beginning. We never go to Kansas City at the beginning. We always
Right.
go when it's dead
The weather.
fucking cold.
Yep.
Dead cold. And it affects. I've seen receivers, I'm not going to speak no names, but I've seen receivers fold in the cold. I've seen some guys
Absolutely.
fold. I played in Tampa. We used to get our schedule Green Bay on. I hope it's early in the season. Hope it's early in the season because it does affect. It does affect. I ain't gonna lie. I never wore sleeves in the cold.
I love how you
But I
took,
wanted
I
to
love how you
so-
took the travel conversation to the weather. Like, he talking about the distance too. but
Oh,
get
no, I
it to
thought
them.
he said the weather.
No, I'm
No,
talking
I
about the
thought he
weather.
was
I'm
saying
talking
the
about
weather.
the weather.
No, he said the
Like,
weather.
how
That's
much
why I
that
thought it was all the
affect
weather.
your
travel.
Yeah, I think it's
Well,
very difficult
I would say
coming
this
from
as-
that to adjust.
As players, we all get spoiled because what happens, the NFL is so much different than college. In the NFL, we go inside it at the drop of a hat.
Hell yeah.
But there is something to New England and some old school coaches. If it's cold outside, you
We
practicing
practice
in the cold.
outside.
Yeah, that
You're
part.
practicing in the cold because you have to get used to it. It is a different hustle
Absolutely.
in the cold. And having
Absolutely.
played in Buffalo and Green Bay the first part of my career, yeah, it's different. And if you're in that environment, you get used to it. By the end of your time in Buffalo, you probably would go to the facility in sweats
Yes.
in January.
Yeah.
Because you're just like, whatever. It's whatever.
It's chilly.
This is what
It
we
ain't
do.
cold, it's just chilly.
Minnesota, you just get used to it. You don't go in there the same way you come in as a rookie, goofed down, bubbled up, and everyone's looking at you.
You exactly
You just
right.
To his
you
point,
get used to
there's
it.
a mental conditioning going
Yes.
on. I swear, this is how I look at life, everything. Because we always focus on the physical conditioning in sports. But the mental conditioning is, I walk in day one as a rookie, I got 100 excuses about this weather. But I'm going to leave this facility in 4 years, and I'm going to have 3. Because I've learned to eliminate those reasons. In a game, we both walk, I swear, I walk out there too, I'm freezing. But I'm like, I have eliminated that excuse. I've eliminated that conversation mentally. You haven't. So now you're either overcompensating, coming out with nothing on, tomorrow, what's up, I ain't tripping. I'm like,
Cold in the
we
mud.
tripping. How you not tripping and we tripping?
Hey, right. I'm not gonna lie.
cold? Keep chatting.
I played my first 8 years in Tampa. Then I played 5 in Oakland. Then I played my last year in Washington. And that was and I had Bill Callahan. We outside.
You know you was outside.
We outside.
Yeah,
And I'm talking about.
Post-pandemic.
I'm talking about even sometimes in Oakland, when I was there and we had to go play in the cold, I wanted to put some sleeves on. I had to set that
But you
example.
had
I was OG. I had to set an example.
See, but-
Everybody over there, I had the coat on. I'm standing, but sometimes I'm over there like, I had to play tough, but I'm over there in my head like, this cold. Man, this cold.
He was playing tough with the
So the only thing I can
Rush you to retirement.
when you talk about the weather in Jacksonville, we played the New England Patriots in the AFC Championship game in Foxborough. And it was 27 or whatever. And I remember going up there and was like, no sleeves. We ain't wearing sleeves today, yada, yada, yada. So we go out for pregame, and I went out the first half. And when you play in the cold, they have the heated benches, and then they have the little burner.
blowers, yeah.
And the worst thing you can do is sit on the bench and sit on the board. Because once you warm up, the only thing you can think about, I just want to get back to the bench. I got to get back to the bench.
I can't
I didn't
wait.
have sleeves on.
I
the
can't
first
wait till I get back
half,
on.
I was
we
so
3-0?
distracted.
Oh, cool. I'll holler at y'all.
So distracted by the cold. Halftime, I put on the sleeves, and it's a completely different thing.
Oh, yeah.
So all the people that are out there, we're going to warm up with our shirts off. Bro, it's cold.
Yeah.
It's cold, and there's nothing you can do to change it.
Hey, I used to be like James Brown.
Hey, look, you know how defense be like fourth? Bucky was on offense going fourth down.
Let's go.
We out.
Hey, I used to be like James Brown with that coat on. Last second, I have a little young guy behind me. Last second, I'm like James Brown. I throw that jacket off. I'll be halfway on the field. He got to run out with me. I'm throwing that jacket off last second.
What were y'all benches like? 'Cause we had them Cadillac benches. It had the
we had- had
the hands. You
had
could
the
put your
hand
fingers
warmers, got
in
everything
there.
in,
You
yeah.
sitting there like, coach be like, defense. I'm like, who on
Wait a minute.
defense?
Hold on.
Am I still on defense?
Hold on. There's a TV timeout. We got another 3 minutes before we got to go. Like,
3 minutes.
I don't wait. Like,
Oh, man. Let's keep this going with the mental play.
I don't know if you guys saw the Ravens. A lot of Ravens fans were calling for the team to take down a social media post because they showed Mark Andrews running up and down the field.
Oh, I saw that.
In pregame in just like a one of
trying to play
those
it off.
with,
little
a little sleeveless T-shirt.
Yeah, his fingers had frostbite. That's why he
A
dropped
little
that ball.
sleeveless T-shirt.
that doesn't work.
And
They
then
make
for
you
him
put
to
it for a
fumble
reason.
that on the
Look,
goal
look,
line.
you can fake it till you make it, but you faking it. Like and he didn't make it because in the clutch moment, he dropped that ball. Largely, I did the same thing in Green Bay, 20 below. I got a fumble recovery. I am running in the open field by myself, and I dropped the ball because literally I couldn't feel the ball. I was just running with something brown in my hand. I didn't know what the hell. I was like, what is this? Black, and that's what happened. So even with the glove, oh man, come on, man. Your body's like, we don't want to hear about
the
that.
The equipment matters so much now. They have everything. They have the furry stuff, the fuzzy stuff in your gloves. They got
but
the stuff,
they got
the legs.
those heated suits
the
now.
suits up
and
under.
all
like
that.
there's
It's a
all
different
of it.
animal.
Your socks, because the thing that you worry about,
The toes and your
feet, man,
fingers.
toes. They got all that other
fingers.
stuff.
All right, something else to worry about. You ready for this? Mahomes. Mahomes, Chiefs advance past the Texans, controversial calls, a lot of controversial calls. A lot of them. Like
From the first
You're
first
like,
drive.
Marcel,
You're like, oh, y'all ain't
Marcel,
gonna first drive.
you know he got to get.
oh, I
You
forgot
know
my
he got
God.
Forgot about me.
I forgot about you. All right, let me go.
Man, forgot about me. Hey, man, first and foremost, fly Eagles fly.
EAGLE.
Saquon Barkley, Jalen
I
Hurts, said they
like
think.
I like
All
your
right, that's why he
pain,
tried to
not
skip
your
me.
pleasure.
He tried to skip my appreciation, man.
I love your pain,
Shout
not
out to
your
Dash
pleasure.
wearing the Kelly Green today. I appreciate it, man. I decided not to wear my colors today.
All right, Paul.
Sorry, man.
Let's
You
hear
my
this.
boy. We can rock with this, all right? I mean, come on, man. Saquon Barkley, over 200 yards rushing. And we played our game. You know, it was a beautiful day, man. I was excited, to make sure it happened, man. And as far as the cold, it's a competitive advantage, man. Everybody don't make it this far. You know, everybody don't make it, man. Everybody don't make it. You know what I mean?
Why did y'all make it this far, or why did y'all overcome what the verse? Because look, the Rams made that a game because they're supposed to make it a game. They're in the divisional round with you guys, but I can't lie to you. You ever hear somebody blow up in music, especially, and everybody rocking with them, and I'm like, they aight. I hate to be this guy because I see y'all talent.
You don't gotta be that guy, though.
But y'all aight. like East Coast, y'all aight, but are y'all really rocking like Like, you really feeling this team, or you just loving the result?
I think they're winning games, and they're putting themselves in position to be competitive the ugly way. It's not the way that everyone wants to see it. That's what's not. It's not sexy. It's not something that. It's not. It's like clickbait or all that stuff that people you see on social media. It's the old-fashioned ground and pound. It's good defense. It's not turning the ball over, and it's playing within the game plan. You know what I mean? Like, you won't see a crazy wild. He scrambled and he just threw it. Across field for 50 yards. He's not going to do that.
Respect
because that's foolish.
That's like they're playing just like the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah. Right? So if Lamar Jackson played a little bit more like Jalen Hurts, the turnovers wouldn't have happened, and they would have been in more of a position. Man. You know what I mean? It's just you got to play within the offense.
Give him that, hey, DP.
You know what I mean?
Like, I understand. I can borrow some things from him, but chill. I got my own wardrobe. I got my own wardrobe.
Philly almost lost that
Lamar
game.
Jackson.
We did.
Philly, you almost had a heart attack.
Almost.
It's true.
Almost
A win is a win.
Almost doesn't count.
It was over.
When Puka caught that ball, it was over. I'm telling y'all, it was over. That deep one, it was over. They just blew it. They blew the protection.
Out of
man.
all the
They blew protection.
teams, I feel like the Rams were the lowest one out of the teams that were left.
I mean, you said that, but so would you have said that if the Vikings, if Eagles play the Vikings? I mean, the Rams beat the Vikings by 2 touchdowns.
No, I give y'all respect.
Like,
Look, I am not a hater. The answer is the answer in terms of the results, like your karate teacher. The answer is the answer. And I'm like, look, dog, I believe what I just saw on that scoreboard. This is New England. I played against New England in Buffalo, in San Diego. Tom Brady's first touchdown ever was against us and me right there. And he's just like, I don't care. And I'm like, I have witnessed in fullness teams that don't look the part, but play the part. So I don't judge looks by their cover. I don't care how little he is. My son does it. He's 9. He's like, Daddy, he don't look like he fast. I was like, race him then. That's going to be the answer.
I'm not even trying to be anything racist, but it's been many times when growing up playing basketball, you go against the little all-white teams, and they're saying picks and everything, but them jump shots is just whoppa. You know you're supposed to go in there and win that team.
Flow offense.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You over there running like, why ain't you calling out the pick? Why ain't you calling out the screen? Like, you're trying to fight with your teammates. Know you should beat this team, but you're definitely right.
Yeah.
It's some teams that are coached like that. Bill Belichick coach team is, a lot of respect to him.
Yeah. Yep, hence why the locker room is more important than the talent you got on the field in the NFL. Like a lot of people don't, it's the culture, right? Again, New England proved it, obviously, but one of the most talented rosters ever in NFL history was our 98 Vikings.
Facts.
But the locker room is why we didn't win the championship. Had nothing to do with the talent on the field. We had Hall of Famers everywhere.
Names and numbers?
No, I'm just saying.
No. My coach said if you dissing somebody, names and numbers.
It's just, we didn't have that culture, the winning culture of together.
Was it Chris and Randy? Like Randy already took it over, and Chris was like, "I'm holding on."
No, Randy was Randy. He was just quiet when he was young, right? Okay. He was, but again, it was still an offense versus defense, right?
Culpepper was rolling on too much.
No, Cunningham was there. Cunningham was the NFL MVP. Yeah, that was 98 Vikings. I think in the 2000 Vikings.
Oh, okay.
Type was our O-line coach. Yeah.
So whose fault was that?
It's nobody's fault. Well,
it had to be somebody.
It definitely comes from the leaders.
It's somebody's fault. You're going to look at the top and look at Denny Green, right? Denny Green was the best coach I ever had. He was a great coach. I just thought the locker room, when I talk about the locker room, I don't even mean coaches. I mean players only. I mean 53. Because like you said, the Brown for the Eagles, if he has come to his, senses, like I'm a team player now, that's a huge deal in that locker room, right? If the players don't ever do that, it's not a coach go come to you, yeah, we need you to really, no, it doesn't happen that way. The player just says, you know what, I want to win, I want to be a team player, and this is going to get us to the championship.
And that's the thing, I agree 100%. Like at the end of the day, there's no scrubs in the NFL. There's no scrubs in major leagues, in major sports at all. Like at the end of the day, everybody was that guy in college. Everybody might have been that guy last season. Yeah. You know what I mean? Now it's just a new season. Now A.J. Brown's got to say, hey, I got to take a new role. Am I okay with this? And he struggled a bit towards the end of the season. He's like, hey, man, I'm not getting the ball. You're not getting the ball because you're not open, because you're jogging your routes some of the times.
And the other times you're just mad at me because of some girl that everybody's guessing over. I don't know what the hell.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about.
Look, I'm not a gossiper.
That's hearsay, brother.
I'm not a gossiper, but every single problem I've ever seen in the locker room comes down to 2 things. What's her name and how much?
How much?
Like,
money and girls.
I've never seen a third lane of an argument. It's always some woman. It could be pillow talk from your wife to my girlfriend. It could be we dating the same girl. or it's like, dog, somehow my money twisted up in there. And
You know what? You know what? I'm
I'm
curious
not
to hear
gossiping.
y'all's opinion
Yes.
on this.
Yes.
Is what's going on in Washington needs to be studied because they were awful last year. I mean, like from top to bottom. I mean,
Well, they changed the top.
They changed the top.
But I mean,
They
what I'm
changed the
saying
top.
is culture. Culture doesn't
It starts-
change overnight,
really-
and it
Wow.
seemed to
But
happen
it has to
overnight
be-
for them. We got a new leader at quarterback, and then they got what pieces did they pick up?
Culture can't change overnight.
It's-
I mean, like,
Yes, it can.
culture-
You never heard of a
culture
stepdaddy?
can't-
You ever heard of a stepdaddy? Just one, hey, I don't know what y'all been doing here.
But we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that.
It's intentional.
Yeah, it's intentional. That's what I mean.
It's a relationship business. So
Shout out to Magic.
Everyone has
Facts.
a role to play, but it is how do I convince everybody to do to embrace
Take a
their
Tetris
part.
or the
Exactly.
And so that's what it is. If you get everyone to buy into like, hey, we all benefit if we all do a little, take a little less, check our egos at the door. The group gets recognized. Then we all individually benefit from the group being recognized. And it takes a coach to be able to say that magic wand, wave it around for us to
No,
do
when
that.
I got to Washington in 2019, it was a damaged place. I mean, I came
culture
from
was bad.
where I've been my 13 years to there. I was in there. I walked in like, I love Jay Gruden to death. He gave me my last opportunity. Was very honest with me, but that thing was a mess in there.
Yeah.
I walked in the team meeting room my first day for the team meeting room. People sitting sitting in the coach's desk with his feet up on the table.
What's up, homie?
It's loud.
Cheerleaders
It's
in there.
loud.
What up, Jack?
He's coming in there. Usually when the coach comes in, everybody quiet. They're still going. He's hey,
Who
my
was the
first
owner?
day.
Who was the owner?
Dan Snyder.
Okay,
my
then.
first day at practice, it's a brawl between the O-line, D-line, helmets off, people swinging. I'm running gashers. I'm like, I ain't signed up for this. Like, no, it was really stuff. And then when Jay got fired, Bill Callahan tried to really change stuff around. He didn't have enough time, but it started from the top.
Yeah.
Snyder was cool, but they got all that out now, and they brought Quinn in, and he's really changing that whole thing. But it need a whole overhaul.
And that's
Let
what I
me ask the
texted
NARPS.
to the
Let me
group.
ask you NARPS. Let me ask the NARPS this, right? When you hear a superstar taking a pay cut, Tom Brady, for example, do you think that he calls his teammates and said, you know, since you're going to sign for this, that I'm going to take a pay cut? Do you think they discuss that amongst players?
Set up.
I have no idea. I don't
Yeah,
know.
but when you hear that on these, what do you think, though?
What's your reaction?
Yeah, what's your
that
reaction?
if it's an important enough player, then yeah, Tom Brady is probably talking to him like, hey, let's
much you
get
need
let's
to
get
stay?
it done
Okay,
like
I'm going to
this.
stop you right there. He's not talking to him. He just knows that if I do this, my team gets better. Period. And it's the culture. We don't have to discuss the contracts and the what if. The player's like, look, I want to win a championship. I know what it's going to take. I know that I got to take less.
But to that point, he did that with Wes Welker. Not
Right.
discussing it, just
Yeah,
did it. And then they ain't give Wes the money. He went to Denver.
Right.
And that was one
That's
of
when
the
he
first
said that.
dominoes.
That's when he
it's-
got mad.
Oh yeah.
But a lot of
we
people
tripping.
ain't in Tom
And
Brady's.
Edelman, they didn't do that, though. They signed Edelman the
But
second
a lot
time
of people
around.
a lot of people ain't in Tom Brady's shoes where they're making all this extra money outside of football to where they can do that. Because if I was going there and I'm like, hey, and I'm trying to get my deal, and they're like, I'm like, hey, well,
If I got more, I could do better. And that's a life conversation we could have one day where like how socioeconomically like class versus race and culture really comes into conversation because a lot of times people are like, oh man, well they doing fine and they helping out everybody. Like, well, they ain't got those worries that you have. The lights are gonna stay on regardless of what they do that day.
man,
So
I called it a
understand
long time ago when all this running back stuff was going on. I said, all these running backs holding out, I said, when it comes up to Christian McCaffrey, I said, you ain't gonna hear nothing. You're not gonna hear nothing. All you're gonna hear is an announcement, and he got signed. What happened? Just an announcement he got signed. You hear no contract negotiations.
Well, that's a bad example.
You hear
Because
no-
McCaffrey a beast. Oh,
I mean, he is a beast though, but at that moment, there were other beasts. Shaquan was going through it. Barkley was going through it right there. And my guy from Baltimore. Why am I?
We might have to do a case study on that, but right
feel
now
what
we're
I'm
gonna do a KC study right now. We gotta finish. We gotta get, I wanted to go heavy on football, but damn, we are fat. Like, let's talk about Kansas City and the Texans game. Can't lie. If there was one game that I didn't have to watch and I just knew it was gonna happen, it happened. But then watching it, I was like, this shouldn't have happened. Like, Texas could win, should have been in a better position with the referees, etc. Hatchet, you saw that game. What happened?
I thought Houston was going to play better in the first quarter, and they didn't. I think that's where they had their chance to really say we're in this game.
Yeah, smack up case.
But the refs didn't help. That first personal foul call with the phantom personal foul.
When
He didn't.
Which one?
And
Were they both hit?
where they hit each other, but Patrick
I thought you
Mahomes
were
went
talking about
under.
Yeah, he was under.
He
on
was
the bottom
under
bunk.
both
He was
of
on the
them.
bottom bunk. We on the top bunk fighting, and you on the bottom bunk talking about you hurt.
And when that usually happens, when you hit the player going down, his head hits the field, right? His head didn't even hit the ground. So I know he didn't get hit with that impact
The flop on the sidelines. Yeah.
So it's like that puts you out of your.
That's
always.
always happens with Kansas City.
I feel like we're very sensitive over here. I feel like you guys go into the game. Already on like a cat with your thing already ready to go. So any little thing that is perceived to be a slight, this defense is in.
But Patrick Mahomes already said we're going to get that call, so you guys should be prepared. So during the week, again, Denny Green say this, right? During the week, he would put 4, right? We're going to get one bad call every quarter. So when we would get a bad call, he'd be like, that's one, fellas. That's one. Second quarter, that's 2. We got 2 more bad calls coming. So again, it's more about the preparation that maybe they didn't have that in the locker room, but they know that bad calls is coming.
The other thing that Denny's trying to prepare you for is from an emotional standpoint, how do you react? So, lifelong Tar Heel, I hate Duke basketball. Okay, J.J. Redick was one of the guys that I used to hate. So the same way you feel about Pat Mahomes, that's how I've always felt about Duke and their best players. So anytime J.J. Redick would get close and they would, that's a foul. So now I got a choice. I can sit and watch the game and be all emotional because JJ's gonna get the call, or I can be like, hey guys, this is what it is.
What's gonna happen.
We gotta play through it. So it's very much like the reaction as a parent when you tell your kids. When your kids fall down, how you react determines how they react towards you.
Yep.
So if you don't react, they don't react. And so what I would tell the Texans and everybody who's playing Kansas City, you already know what it is.
Buffalo,
go
you
play.
already know.
Let me set the table before we get into this conversation even further, because this was profound and mind-blowing to me. They say Kansas City in the fourth quarter, with one-score games, one-score possessions, have had 48 penalties called for them. You want to know how many called against them? Anybody? Guess?
2.
Less than 5.
2, 5,
0, 5, 4.
They have to have something. So let's see.
You know what the number is? 47. Perception and reality.
No.
So emotional.
No. I got the answer for that.
I need to see that.
I'll be right back.
I need to see that.
You don't know.
I need to see that. I need to see that. I gotta see that.
I'm gonna tell you when it happens.
But we gotta see how crucial is it make or break.
Jason Whitlock gave it to me.
The game is over, right? They're
KC
up by
Scott.
14 or 17. Then they throw the flag on the other team to make the numbers come out. Look at when they throwing the flag. If it's an important 4th and 1, I'm just letting you know. If it's a 4th and 1,
hey, Hatch, I hope you're right. But you know one thing I definitely did take from this game is, if you're a Houston Texans fan, you got to be very excited.
Absolutely.
I mean,
got a future.
I think they really resemble their coach.
What we excited
I really
Future.
Their future. I mean, I really feel like
No tank.
I'm with you, Bucky.
Their
I'm with
defense
you.
is flying around. I really feel like they got a
But DP,
great future.
they were.
You guys,
I thought they were looking for an excuse why they were going to lose.
100% all that crying.
And if you're looking for an excuse why you're going to lose, then you're not going to win the game no matter what.
y'all
They
over
were.
here.
It was. The first bad call, you going crazy. You're not in the right mind space.
Books. We don't carry over books.
So when
But Houston is definitely a team on the rise. I don't care what
Okay,
They're
what we
definitely a
should
team on the
do
rise.
is try to draw out some viewership and ratings over this KC Texans game, because it is what it is, because it was what it was going to be. KC was not going to lose a divisional game to the Houston Texans at home at all.
And that's because Patrick Mahomes is the MVP of the
Patrick Mahomes
NFL. I keep
is-
telling
Yes, sir.
y'all.
Yes, sir.
So you don't think they're gonna be tough this year?
They won because of the kicking game. The issues in the kicking
Special
game.
teams
It's the
was
hidden
very-
The hidden margin. So 63-yard kickoff return to start the game, set them up for points. Houston missed a field goal. They missed an extra point. And in the fourth quarter, they had a field goal blocked. If you lose in the kicking game, you're going to lose the game. So when the games are even, that's what it comes down to.
I love y'all. Let's just make a team executive decision not to talk about this game anymore because it's a wrap. We knew it was going to happen. I love one point you made, as many points, but one you said, are we going to take a little less to get more out of it? One of the things that Max Kellerman used to always talk to me about, and we used to have discussions on when we watch team dynamics is, are you greater or lesser of the sum of those parts? So you ever seen a team is like that, and then you're like, damn, they playing this way. And then you see a team like that, and you're like, damn, they playing this way. So it's greater or lesser of some of its parts. Well, let's talk about that Notre Dame-Ohio State game last night, national championships. We got new NARPS coming in here. We got some NARPS coming in.
My weekend got worse.
We got some NARPS switches or something going on because we got to talk through this.
My weekend got worse.
How about
Ohio
we talk
State
about
winning was the worst thing that I tell you what, when Michigan beat them, that ignited
that was
them.
the best thing that happened.
That ignited them.
And
Let's
talk to the media. Let's talk to the media.
Always say that, like, us losing woke us up. Did it?
No, let's
Did it really?
Let's talk.
The lessons to be
I
learned.
want to talk to the fan base and the media because college football is not what it used to be. You don't play 10 games. You don't have to go undefeated. So when Ohio State lost one game and everybody wanted Ryan Day's job,
They lost two.
They lost the game. Right, everybody wanted Ryan Day's job and said it was over. Get him out of there. He lost to Michigan. It's over. And I was like, he's going to go win the national championship because he lost to Michigan. That's got a lot to do with it. Now, if you beat Michigan and you don't win a national title, you guys are all happy. So just the fan base and the media, like all these one game, I guess things that happen, like let's not just fire people off of one game. It's getting ridiculous.
so much fun.
They lost 2 games by 4 points. So
Yeah, I'm from Michigan, so I always hate Ohio State, bro. That's just back in the day. We grew up on that. I just don't like Ohio State. But I do like their receiver, right? Our game recognized gang. Their receiver's a beast. Yeah, he's a beast.
You can hate him and he's still gonna be good. Like,
Yeah.
like first of all, he that good. Like he that good. Smith is that good.
nice.
Like it ain't no love of me hating me. I'm that good.
recognized game.
I'm a freak. Right.
Absolutely.
But watching that game, I'm not gonna lie, it was one of those games where you started to, you're not scrolling. You just got the menu up. Like, what else is on? 'Cause
Exactly.
This is about to be
That's
rap.
exactly what I
This
was
is about to be
doing.
joysticks. And then, it happened 3-4 times where Herb Street, Fowler would say something and it would happen. They interviewed coach. He was like, well, we need a turnover. Next play, turnover. He's like, well, we need to score some points before 2 minutes. Next thing you know, touchdown. I'm like, what is going on? I really, for a moment there, thought that Ohio State was going to trick that off.
Well, at first, it was looking like Notre Dame didn't belong to be there. But one thing I got to do to Coach Freeman, he had them ready. Those boys fought, and they kept fighting, and they kept fighting to the end.
Early? I mean, they scored early.
They played nervous early. They played nervous
and
early.
then it got weird. It's almost like Lamar Jackson, like, wow. And then like, oh, let me show you who I really am, and then let me work on that.
And Marcellus, they've been like that all year. They're a second half team. And that kind of goes back to what we talked about way earlier. You have to learn how to fight. You got to fight the whole game. And they're a second half team. Why are you a second half team? Come out the same attitude in the first half that you're coming with the.
Well, that's not fair because there are boxers who are counterpunchers, and you're like, well, why don't you strike first? Why don't you hit them first? You're like, nah, I got to see that.
Yeah,
And
but
so-
that's different. That's different. And
Why
you
is it
could see
different?
the frustration in Freeman when they talk to him.
He said
like
at
after the
halftime.
Well,
quarter
coach ain't playing.
or
Be
the halves.
frustrated, coach. You're not playing.
He said, I don't know why we're not
Yeah,
playing
he
as well
was like,
as we should
he was
be playing.
like, we're
he said
right
that
here.
at
I got a
I
reason.
can't even
Ohio
understand
State
that.
Ohio
got
State's a
dudes.
very good They got
Ohio
dudes.
State is real good.
I mean,
everywhere.
And Ohio State was playing the best of anybody.
You
going
got
into
to talk about that
Absolutely.
fourth quarter of that game, though. I mean, Notre Dame showed a lot of heart. They came back. They came through executing the game plan, and they made a lot of big plays towards the end. They got their skill positions, their skill guys of the ball in open space, and they made plays and put them back
If they
in the
run
game,
a
give
zone
themselves
on
a chance.
Smith on that third down,
Yeah.
they still are alive.
Why they don't double him?
They don't double.
Why
They
not
don't run
double?
zone. They literally leave him One-on-one. Because you know what? They thought, because Chip Kelly lulled them to sleep. First down, like quarterback run. Second down, quarterback run, changed the formation. So they were like, oh, they playing it safe. Well, let's play it risky. And then so we can just load the box and then go out there, and then Chip, here you go.
And then he sold that route was perfect. He sold it. He came inside the hash and then broke all the way back. Oh, that was disgusting.
15 yards off the receiver.
I mean,
With no
chance.
chance.
They were going to have a lot. I mean, that was just a time and play.
So
They connect a lot in practice with that.
My thing with Notre Dame and Ohio State, Notre Dame coming in was they didn't have as much talent as Ohio State. So there was a narrow path to victory for them. That first drive is how Notre Dame had to play the entire game.
Absolutely.
They had to play keep away. They ate up 9 minutes and 45 seconds. They had 18 plays.
The quarterback ran 9 times.
But when I saw the quarterback on the bench after that, and he was gassed out.
He couldn't do that the whole game. You know he couldn't do that the whole game.
He ran, and Marcus Freeman said, we can't run him like we ran him the first drive the entire game. Yeah. And what happened, Notre Dame needed to play this in the half court. Ohio State has too many dogs to let it be a fast break game. And what happened, the talent won. Yeah. The more talented team won out. And that's ultimately what
9 quarterback runs in the first drive.
Hey, it was a good game, though. That was a good game.
And games are always based off of consistency. How long can you do it?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it's always, and that's across like every sport. It's the team who can be most consistent through the game, and if you can't finish it the way you started, then.
I got love for him. I saw some basketball highlights of him, and they were showing how athletic he was. Because, don't let the paint job.
Yeah,
he a
was
beast. He a beast.
Riley.
What school was he at before he came to Notre Dame?
Kansas State.
Kansas State? What is it,
Duke.
Oh, you're talking about Riley Leonard.
Riley Leonard, the
oh,
quarterback.
Yeah, he was at Duke.
Duke.
Riley Leonard was at Duke.
Nice.
He was a guy.
You know how it was
I
at
can
K-State.
tell you, hey.
Nice. And so them quarterback runs make sense. At the same time, like, dog, I ain't got 4 quarters of that in me, but way to set the tone. Okay, let's set this tone right now. Dun, 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 dun. On Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday.
Oh, Lord.
I'm out. Oh, Lord. Where we going now?
We had
America had this inauguration, and America welcomed their 47th president, Donald Trump, into office. And just right there, right now, you can see the stark contrast in terms of tonality and how that can look to certain people, et cetera. But on this show, no matter what it is, we're going to talk through it to get to it. All right. I don't even know what to say other than thoughts.
Well,
like,
no, I want to ask you, was it done on purpose?
What you mean, Donald?
What do you mean? Martin Luther King born then?
Was
the date set to?
It's always that.
It's always the.
It's not always the 20th, but it's always the third Monday.
It's always the third Monday.
It just so happened.
Monday.
It just so happened to fall on MLK Day.
Oh, okay, all right.
Lord, it's so hard.
I'm glad that got explained because I didn't know that.
Right,
that helps out a lot. That helps out a lot. But like, I feel like I don't know if you saw the Dave Chappelle thing.
I did.
And I feel like the way he put it is like great. We're all counting on you. We're all counting on you. I think he worded it as best as possible. Whether you like him or don't, we're all counting on you because right now we're in tough times right now. Yeah. All around.
Are we though? Are we though?
He said, do better. He said, do better because we need to do better.
The market is on fire.
Economy, though.
The economy.
Gas prices still crazy.
Immigration.
After all this fire stuff starts coming around. After all this fire stuff starts coming.
Always gonna be criminals.
Man, I know that, but I'm saying they outside.
The crime rate.
It ain't just Crips and Bloods in LA no more.
Crime rate is down
Everything
everywhere.
is down.
The economy is up everywhere.
Eggs cost $10,
Unemployment
though.
is down.
Eggs cost $10.
Eggs cost $10 in history.
As much as gas and groceries cost.
But it's not gonna go down.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
One at a time.
Stop. That has nothing to do with the president.
That has nothing to do with that.
What are you talking about? I worked in the U.S. Senate.
Oh, word? Oh, well, you can speak on
for
that.
the senator who took Obama's spot. Everything that these cats ran on are lies. Every single bit
Is that
of
the
it.
Democrats when you say these cats? What do you mean?
The whole Republican platform.
Republican.
We're going to make the economy better. Well, the economy is great. We're going to lower unemployment. Unemployment is at all-time lows. We're going to lower costs and inflation. That has nothing to do with the president. No thing.
So why do they
Stop
say-
it.
well, why do they say those
and
words?
if you think that, that means you haven't been in. And I'm not saying this to you.
Yes, you are.
You haven't been intellectually curious enough
You ain't
to find
Yeah,
out
because-
what does affect those things.
You're definitely right.
So-
I haven't.
so-
Yeah, no, 'cause
Right, and that's
I'm
so
gonna say I
that's
admitted
so
to you.
important. So that's why this is it's so disappointing to me because we have a 34-time felon as our president. Would you be able to be president with 34
Okay.
felonies?
I want to center this conversation on he is the president. There's two conversations we can have. We can have, should he be or he is?
Okay, so he is,
So
but if you expect-
he won the game. You can't keep talking about well he don't even look like he can run fast. So like it don't matter. He won already. So
Okay.
I understand that agenda. I understand that mindset. But that's an L. And the reality is, even though L is in reality, we're not going to focus on that L. We're going to focus in on the day he goes in, Martin Luther King's birthday, and much to do about what to expect from him. Elon Musk, little happy.
No, see, stop.
No,
stop.
I'm not
Call
gonna
it
stop.
what it
I
is.
need to give you the whole clip, and then you can pick. No, I'm going to give you the whole
tap
clip.
dancing, Marcellus.
I'm not-
Call
no,
it what
no,
it is.
Well, I never tap
Call it-
dance. I've
He
never-
did this.
Okay, that's fine.
What is that?
But first of all, what is this? I don't care.
But
Like,
Well, you should. You should.
First of all, I'm not gonna play the
You
game where I'm
should.
offended by somebody's gestures.
Citizen?
I'm not gonna play the
Elon Musk,
game.
American
You can do that game and get stoked interest, but I'm not gonna play the
What the hell
game.
that
You
game-
don't want.
what
I
game
don't.
is that?
The Elon Musk didn't even vote. He's not an American citizen.
So I'm not even gonna finish that. He won't let me.
Right?
Can I finish?
He can't
And then
vote if he's
anybody
not
can jump in.
American
It ain't just OG RP. Here's the thing. He's our president now, and this is why I want to have this conversation because we can't even get to the question. Because look, I hate, and it's like, dog. I don't know anybody that walks this planet that gets that out of me. But I'm interested in why is he getting it out of you? So let's not go to you first because we want to at least have some of this conversation to spread around. Let the butter hit all the toast. Yeah, stupid. We come in RP. You know I respect anybody. But what did you see yesterday and what did you feel?
Well, I've always leaned left, and all we can do right now is pray and wish him best, and that he leads the country in the right way. The Democrats, they dropped the ball in selection. They were tone deaf to a lot of issues that the American people were leaning towards. They tried to set their own agenda, tried to set their own rules for the race, and they got beat doing that. That's how I look at it. That's how I see it.
So what are you expecting going forward? Like, are you really holding your breath? Like, because as you said, and I heard you in there, I talk a lot, I listen more. You kept saying, that's not on the president. So a lot of the ills and issues that American people are going to feel, y'all going to think he's going to be your savior. It's not on the president. So Donald Trump's the president. And I grew up in an era where people were telling me to love Donald Trump. I was in LA listening to every rap song saying Trump, 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 Eric B all the way through. And I'm like, damn, I get to New York, I see Trump. I see why y'all love this dude. He's on the print. All this stuff is love. Then he said, I'm going to become president. And then everybody started hating. And I was like, okay, I get the hate. We ain't supposed to like him no more. Tell me why, though. Oh, well, you remember back in 80-something? I was like, but y'all been telling me to love him after that. But so all I'm saying, and look, a lot of people, Nelly has gotten some Snoop. A lot of people are, and let me, full disclosure, and then I want to open it up, but I want to have a real conversation. I golfed with Trump in 2010, 11, somewhere in that world. I don't remember. And it was at his golf course. I'm walking at my boy Rory Wilfork. Everybody know him, Rory. And I'm golfing with Rory, and he's like, oh, you want to meet? I'm like, yeah, I meet Donald Trump. Like, that's Trump. Airbnb Rakim said, like Trump. Like, you know what I mean? And I meet him. We have lunch. We golf a little bit, and I ain't think twice of it. You know how sometimes you got your radar on? Like, yo, he ain't feeling me. He ain't feeling us. I ain't feeling none of that, but whatever. Then I look up. Years later, I'm supposed to hate that guy. And I was like, y'all can, but I met the man. And when I met the man was gracious and cool with me. That doesn't mean I agree with everything. It just means he was a cool cat. You know how many killers I know that I'm cool with, and y'all love him, and I'm like, I should hate him. He a killer. So the point is, I just want to make sure we're staying this conversation respectfully. Donald Trump's in office. He here for 4 years at least, another 4. What y'all feel?
Wait, real quick. Can I just ask a quick question based on what you just
Quick
said?
question. It ain't got to be quick. We got time.
Everybody, like you said, prior to his run for presidency, people loved Trump. He was on TV, had a hit show. He was at every party. Celebrities always shouting him out. Would that same disdain or hate been there for him had he run on the Democratic card?
Hell no. You already know that. And he picked the other side. Really? Of course.
So I think a lot of the hate just comes from the side he's on, not what he's saying.
Because he came at a time when we were saying, look, if you're conservative, you're racist, white. If you're conservative, black, you're a sellout. Look, I took this. I told people when BLM started, what? Like, I'm not supporting that. They was like, why? You're black. I was like, yeah, so I don't need to support anything that says I'm black. I already know it. Oh, no, read what they're saying. I'm like, I did. They're not talking about a nuclear family. They're not talking about what I'm talking about. So then I was off. Certainly, it seemed like a lot of people realized that and came off them. But it's not about them. Kaepernick, I knew Kaepernick personally. And then I knew also Dr. Harry Edwards. And I saw how that movement came up. And I saw the public's reaction versus what was behind the curtain reaction. To the point where him and Dr. Harry Edwards even had to differ and split on the same thing that they started. Y'all figure out why they had to do that, because it was a difference of opinion. I don't hate Kaepernick. I just call it like it is. I'm like, since you're a brother, don't mean everything you do is right? What Trump did is say, I'm going to run on a conservative platform. And at that time, we were calling those people racist blindly. And I think he got caught up in that wash. That said, I'm looking forward to seeing what these next 4 years are going to look like. But first, I want to hear these next 4 minutes from Richie P. Because I know Richie P want to go. No, you got it. Yeah, I want to hear what Richie got to say.
What you said before about being tone deaf, I think one of the biggest things that happened was on the Democratic card, they dropped the ball, as you said. We all just sat here and a couple of you said, oh, crime rate is down. But on the flip side of that, during these past 4 years, people were complaining about how bad the crime was, even during the pandemic. And then we were talking about how all the migrants that are coming in are tearing things up. In New York, it was out of control. It was happening a little bit out here. His first day in, he signs that bill where he's shutting the border down. That whole app that they have where they can set appointments to come into the U.S., shut it down. So it's like you can't complain that this is happening, and then when somebody comes in and puts this in effect to stop that, you complain that he's doing it. Right. So I feel like you gotta.
He can't
that
win
whole
for
tone.
losing, as they
right.
say.
It's like no matter what you do, it's going. It
no
seems to be.
It's
going to be an issue just
down.
because, and that's why I asked the question about if he ran on the Democratic card versus the Republican card. Would that energy still be the same?
Yeah. And because, you know what? When I said criminality, I didn't say crime rate on purpose, because I grew up, and I swear I used to always say this. I'm from Compton, grew up in LA, South Central, all that, and I'm like, snowfall. And I'm like, I used to always whisper. Like, I knew a lot of the gangsters, but they were like my teammates. You know, I'm like, damn, your brother a gangster, he a killer. And I'm like, but you cool, you can run the ball. And it's like, we just friends. It was the weirdest dynamic. And I used to say, why y'all keep like blasting us and robbing us? Y'all should go get them people with the money. Like I said, the money only 8 miles away, a little closer than you think. Like Wilshire is not far. We can get there. And I ain't say it for real. I was just saying facetiously, like, you keep taking from broke people, you ain't gonna get much. And then I tell you what people have felt, why everyone said the crime rate's up, because the criminality got random. All of a sudden, they said, you know what? After the pandemic, they said, you know what? There are people on Rodeo Drive just chilling with $200,000 watches on. Give me that. You know what I mean? And when that started happening, crime rate, I'm like, now criminality has now gotten random. And so they take it from all the athletes, they take it from all the celebs. If I know your schedule, I'm gonna get you.
Yep. Crack hit the suburbs.
Crack? Yeah. Salute. Now, take the mic. Let's go.
Hold on. Because I know Rich is going to make good points. I want to make sure you finish your point before I weigh in.
And I was going to say the biggest thing with even with the whole immigration thing, and I like Barack, but Barack was known for shipping everybody out of here. And it was never an issue. But then when Trump did it, that's what he's known for. Really? He was shutting it down, shipping everybody out. But that goes back to the Democratic Republican card. People already have things in their mind that we're conditioned to just hate whatever that other side says.
I love you, Bucky. The fact that everybody on this couch right now, everybody in this room is not black, but everybody on this couch right now is. If you say you like Donald Trump, and I'm in LA, California, and black, it's 3 strikes. Do not follow that up with, oh yeah, I fuck with Trump. Because I do. And people are like, I hate you. I'm like, okay, well, I just lost a friend, I guess, that I never had. The point is, what is he saying that is getting you so offended that even if you're offended, you can't respect me for thinking different?
I think having grown up in North Carolina, and I think it goes beyond just the presidency. I think when you talk about Republicans, and if you're paying attention to what's going on, gerrymandering, and how rights that have really been worked hard to been acquired have been wiped away. So we talk about Voting Rights Act. When you talk about some of the things that have happened when it comes to women and their reproductive rights and all those other things, we have always painted ourselves in this country as being the city on the hill, the beacon of light. We're going to show the other uncivilized countries how to be civilized, how to have a democratic nation where everyone is viewed as an equal. And yet we're working really, really hard to wipe away those things. And so when you talk about the elimination of DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, when you wipe away some of the things that were put in to level the playing field. And so it's not just about the presidency, it's about understanding the political agenda that is being enacted. And for us, for some of us, we may benefit for some of the policies that are in place, but I come from a place where it's about leaving it better than the way that we inherited. So when you have people that are coming behind you and you can see that some of the opportunities that were afforded to you to go to college, to do things that we should be entitled to do, and you see some of the policies are not making it where it's a meritocracy, it's really the elimination of making things equal. And when equality feels like you're being oppressed, then we have a problem. So for me, it goes beyond Trump. It goes to the political agenda that's being enacted. And like Richie, I've spent time working for the governor of North Carolina while I was a player. So one of the things, Governor Hunt, I shadowed him, I did things with him. And so from a political standpoint, I just want everyone to use their right. So if everyone on the couch voted, cool. And whatever you vote for, great. But we have to be able to be responsible enough to make sure that we make educated decisions on the options and choices that we make when it comes to political power and political gain.
You know,
That was good.
that's right.
I
Bucky.
disagree with all that shit. It made sense.
What he said.
And come on, man.
Oh, first of all, come on. We had a broadcasting like gift, like we used to clown. And when someone says, "Come on, man," or they be like, "Oh," like we were like, "They ain't got nothing to say." So when you say that, I'm like, "Nah, I'm not going nowhere until you take me there."
What did P.T. Barnum say? There's a sucker born every minute.
Okay. I was like,
We now have a.
What Bailey say though? Hold on, what did Bailey say after Barnum said that shit? Bailey was like,
Well, Barnum kicked Bailey out
I know you did.
and owned the circus himself. So he knew the suckers.
We knew what's up.
And there's also a say, if you're at a poker table and you don't know who the sucker is, you the sucker.
Oh, so if you don't know who over here tricking, you the trick.
You the trick. So we're talking about a man who has said out of his own mouth that if I run, I'm going to run as a Republican because they will believe anything. That is maybe a slight paraphrase, but it is out of his own mouth.
Might be a slight. You don't think
Yes,
Democrats?
he's saying he could say anything, do
they're
anything,
easier to
and they will
convince.
believe
Wow.
him.
I
This is
didn't
the
know
man
that.
who came down an escalator, was last on the list, and came out firing, saying Mexicans were rapists and thugs and criminals.
He didn't say that.
Yes, he did.
Exactly like that.
Yes, he did. That's exactly what he said.
I don't want to do that because that's boring without video, but I've heard him extracted and the tone, the context changes. I heard him clipped, like you about to get clipped, I'm going to get clipped. We're going to sound a lot different than what
Marcellus, I pay attention to this, bro.
First of all, I
Stop.
see the salt and pepper,
So-
I could tell, I know.
This is a man who said that he could grab any woman by the pee.
He did say that.
53% of white women still vote for him. I can grab you by the pee.
You said that too.
And you will let me because I am a star. This is a man who said I can go on. People, Hatch. That's what I'm saying. I've lost my faith in humanity. This is a man who said.
You let one man take your faith in humanity away?
It's not because
Yes.
It's not because of him.
Yes.
It's how people are responding.
I can stand on Fifth Avenue and kill somebody, and they'll still vote for me.
In America, yes.
Okay, these
So
quotes- hold on. If you don't vote for me, you ain't black.
So
Like that's our options.
That was crazy.
and calling us
so
and then a man who calls
Skip Bayless saying, "I'm gonna give you $1.5 million. What you want to do, girl?" You believe everything in it? Like I'm not putting all these words into the world where they're set in stone to the point I give convictions.
that's the problem.
I'm not built like that.
But that's the problem, Marcellus.
Charlamagne laughed that off like
As soon as the narrative was, he doesn't mean that. He's saying it, but he doesn't really mean it.
Did Biden mean it?
Mean what?
If you don't vote for me,
If you don't vote for me, you ain't black.
That's a crazy
You
statement.
know, look, that's why I don't like playing that game.
If he said that, then that's crazy.
He said it too. Listen to my He said it publicly.
That's not who we're talking about right now. So, well, no, it's not. I'm not giving him a pass on that. But that's not our subject. So we'd have to go differently on that. But you can't. He calls us the blacks.
Don't give me. Look, let's have a real conversation.
Well, what do you mean? That is a real conversation. It's disrespectful.
Okay, you ever played double dutch? Because I can tell you haven't.
Of course, I'm from the south side of Chicago.
They're good.
What you mean?
I got third place in the second grade.
What
I
you-
was a beast. I was a beast. Dog, I got third place in the whole school.
Why are you double dutching? Why is your big ass double dutching?
He's the problem.
I'm just trying to figure out why you double dutching.
I got an older sister.
I'm just trying to
And
figure out
she
why.
entered too.
I'm not gender rolling. I'm just trying to
tell you
figure
why.
out why someone 6'5", 260
I said second grade.
I was double dutching. That's all. I'm just trying to figure out. That's all.
Okay, this is a real story. Please give me enough time because double dutch it teaches you how to work with somebody else.
my God.
Like,
Talking about double
it's called
dutch.
tangles. Like if you ain't doing this the same, you're gonna tangle the ropes. We got to work together. Three of us. Here we go.
More defensive man, double dutching.
They used to call me. They used to call me fig, fog, but they changed the noun in there, right, the vowel in there. They changed the vowel in there because they were like, they literally labeled me something. I remember because I got second, yeah, and I was like, why y'all coming at me like that? Like, I think I got second.
Oh, you can't remember?
I can't remember.
What year was that again?
Defending champ. I was two-time double dutch
What I
champ.
want to say is I didn't win. I think I got second or third. Anyway, I ain't get no medal. Man, I'm at 54th Street Elementary School in 1981. I ain't get no money. But the point is, I remember they clowning me. And like Bucky just said, he clowned me. And I was like, damn, why y'all clowning me? I did something good. I was the only boy that got a third, second, or that's it, not first place. You doing the same thing. You're doing the same thing. You're literally trying to label because I decided to do something different than you. And look, I am not looking down on you on all them quotes you had, but I got my quotes loaded too if you want to pull out a clip. And then we just gonna quote out and the clip gonna be empty and then who gonna be standing? Right, so it's not about right or wrong. I just am amazed with this conversation because I don't get involved to that point. I go into a booth, you're not looking over my shoulder, I'm not looking over yours. I place my vote, you place yours. We're gonna have to live our lives to the best of our abilities. But to say that this almost ghostly figure, because how many times we gonna even connect with it or his policies, as you even already stated, that's not even on the president. A lot of our day-to-day experience is not going to be on this man. So why the vitriol so much towards him when he's like, look, I'm trying to take it in a different direction?
He's not trying to take it in a different direction. This is a man who the federal government has sued for not renting apartments to black people.
And we trust the government now, huh? Fully.
Well, no, well, you keep
Yeah,
moving. You're moving the
But what about,
goalposts.
but
You're moving the
that's
goalposts.
everybody who else has been a president too. So what's it have to do with
Wait,
Trump
what are you
then?
talking about?
All them people that got billions of dollars, they probably have racist past as well. So what's the deal? Joe Biden has just as much as racist past as Trump did, but people still voted for him. Maybe more. We don't even know.
He was powerful
I don't know
before.
if we can say maybe.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's all the same now.
Because Joe Biden was powerful in the '90s, so his racist views
And the
kind of
70s.
matter, right? And I'm not a Trump. I don't like. I don't like Trump, but like I can't. If people, is it his fault because people like him?
Right.
No, it's not. It's the people's fault. And that's what
Right.
I'm saying.
Right.
People are dumb.
But
I agree.
So you're talking to the people. You're not talking about Trump.
Yeah, we dumb.
Well, Trump
for not
is a
agreeing.
scorpion. Is going to be a scorpion.
But why are they dumb?
But the people.
How do you feel
people
that
don't
someone
have to
says you're dumb
follow
for
him?
following Kamala? Kamala.
Tell me why. Tell me why.
It's Miss Harris. We're gonna say Miss Harris.
Tell me why. Tell me why I am.
No, but why
And
would
if it
okay,
makes
let me
sense,
why
then
would you even not
maybe
give
I'll
them the
change my view.
Why would you not give them the respect you want given to you?
I can tell you
Even
why.
in disagreement.
I can tell you why
But is dumb
I
the
can lobby
summation?
against Trump.
Is dumb the summation I should give you when I hear all your points supporting Ms.
No,
Harris?
it should be. No,
It should be dumb.
It's an even exchange.
Why do you call it dumb
well,
for Donald Trump?
I call
But
it dumb
what
because
else?
I have anecdotal evidence that has happened in real life.
On both sides though.
Show me the other side.
They can. I'm.
And then when you come to voting, there's two options, right? It's
Well, there's more than two.
well, no, not
Independent.
really.
I mean,
No.
Not in
that list was long. I was like, who
not
is
in
this?
reality. Not in
Super
reality.
low.
He running.
the video.
So you have to vote for who is going to do you the best.
You just explained it.
A woman,
You said for
a woman
you.
voting
For you
for
the best.
a woman,
Your best isn't his best.
53% of white women voted for Trump.
'Cause they
this
don't
is
care.
a man who has
But they don't
endorsed
care about that,
taking
though.
away their reproductive rights.
But they don't care
They
about
take
that.
all
away
of them-
their
first of all,
different
All of
rights.
them don't have to reproduce anymore. Like if you,
Let me.
I mean, that's very true.
I hope y'all caught this. I hope y'all
But
caught
it's
this.
That's very true.
It's a rights thing.
They don't have to
It's
reproduce.
a right. Well, everybody don't have
Come
to
on,
vote
come on,
either.
come on. First of all,
You don't want that taken
you're
away.
contradicting yourself. You're saying you vote for who is going to do best for you. And then you say, well, 53% of white women voted for taking away reproductive rights. 53% of them don't have to reproduce again. And you know that. I'm just talking really pragmatically. You do know that, right? They're above an age past menopause, right?
Some are.
Well, that's the point. So now let's take 53 down another notch. Let's take it even further down another notch and stop saying their answer, which differs from yours, is dumb, and your answer is not dumb.
Yeah,
'cause
but
it's different.
Marcellus, on top of that, this is a man who has been found liable in court for rape.
Let me say something to you.
So that's another strike against women. This is a man who said,
I'm
"I can."
not defending
This is a man
Donald
who said,
Trump.
"I can grab
I'm
any
defending-
woman's pee, and it's okay because I'm a star."
I'm not. Look,
Those are red flags.
A lot of people have said that. I know
so
5,000 people that said that you would vote for and you go buy their music and you watch their
No, I
movies.
wouldn't.
So what you
This is
saying?
how you catch Richie.
Who's your favorite
Richie.
artist?
No, I wouldn't.
Who's your favorite
I
artist?
I wouldn't
What
vote
movie?
for
What's,
him.
what's a movie that you went
I
and
wouldn't
seen?
vote for him.
But you would go watch their movies and you would buy their music and you would eat their food. So yes, you do. You do it every single day. They're doing stuff behind doors.
So, Hatch,
that
what you're saying is that
it's
there's
Hatch.
nothing
It's Hatch. It's Hatch.
That's
not
what I said.
Patch. You said
I said
Hatch.
I said Hatch.
What Richie
I
won't
said
do,
Hatch.
what Richie won't do is, you know what, Richie, and look, since you want to throw something at me, I'm gonna stop ducking. I'm gonna start shooting back. Here you go. You have not said one thing personal to Richie Porter. Stop it. Reproductive rights. That's got something to do with you. Women, 53%. You ain't said nothing for you. You know why? Because you ain't really got a problem with him. You want to hide behind what their problems are. Look, listen, let me say this. Since you want to shoot, I got guns. Look, I'm not gonna blast, but I can blood. Here we go. Your thing is their plight. But I'm asking you, what's your issue?
With
and
him specifically.
even when you give it to me, you're
Still
not
talking
dumb.
about-
My issue is
You're not
humanity,
dumb.
Marcellus.
opinion.
Well, if you so for
My issue is
humanity, why you
humanity.
keep saying dumb for the people who
Let
disagree?
me ask you this. What he's saying, I think the world should be saying is, why does it matter who we vote for? We should all be rocking with each other. Go vote for that one day, and then come back and rock with
Like
us.
a
We can
football
still go
game.
hang out.
Eagles,
We can still-
Rams. Eagles
because
won.
everybody's got their stuff
Move on.
in their closet. Everybody. So whatever
Or
you
out the
do,
closet.
we still go rock with each other after tomorrow or after the next day.
I'm not
it doesn't
dumb,
matter.
dog. Or they are not dumb, or we are not dumb for not agreeing with your decision making. And that's what, look, if there's anything I think you're dumb for saying, is that someone who disagrees with you is dumb.
And I can accept you feeling that way.
No, it's not a feeling. It's deeper.
This is turning to a psychology. psychology.
Listen, we can all rock together or we can rock apart. And if you think Donald Trump is rocking with you,
He's not
then-
rocking with none of
then
us in
fine.
I don't
Then-
care
then
if
that-
he
then-
is
or
or
not.
not. I'm going to do me
yeah,
regardless of the headwind he
but
brings.
see, his
the only thing
policies
I-
are going to affect your family.
So is a different.
Your
Everybody's
aunts,
policy.
your
I've been
uncles,
affected by,
your-
you know how many times I voted and the guy I voted for didn't win, and I was like, oh well, all right, it's
your,
time to go work.
your
bro.
life didn't change the next day at all.
I gotta work it. I gotta work it.
and
lean
flip
back,
it, and then flip it and
twerk it.
reverse it. Now you gotta get your
That's how you said. Now I'm
But on that,
I hear you though.
I got a couple of friends that support Trump, and I'm not really into politics and stuff. But like
Did you vote?
Marcellus, yes, I did.
Okay, I'm just
but like,
like,
but
it's
like,
important that everybody votes.
but like,
No,
but
but
like,
it's a
but like
huge-
Sel said,
it's a huge thing. Like,
I don't
why
look
people
at them
don't
any
vote.
different way. They're still my friends. They're still, you know, even when they post little stuff about Trump, I still don't look at them the same. I don't look at them different. That's their opinion. I got my opinion. You know, I'd known them before all this Trump stuff even came up, before he even ran for office. You know,
Golden rule.
some of them, when I had no money in college, I want to eat your food with you. You know, so I'm still gonna rock with you, even though that thing. But I do understand where you're coming from. But like I said, I'm not gonna judge anybody off of what they're gonna go with. And I feel like that is the bigger picture that Sel's trying to get at. Right.
Yeah, I'm trying to get beyond how you even think they can win the game. I'm like, but they won.
They won.
So
It's
stop
over.
arguing.
The game is over.
Like, it's time to play a different game. It's
Exactly.
the next
And you
round.
heard what I said. He did, like Sel said, it's already won. Now, I just want him to do right. You remember that's what I said at the beginning. I'm already here now. I ain't
We
vote for
here.
him.
We
I want
next,
him to do
nigga.
right now. I
The
want him to do right.
upper-
You there now. Please do right by us. Do what you can. You know?
And wait, hold on. real
No,
quick.
you gotta let him go.
The original question, though, is what was all the vitriol for Trump? And literally, what you were doing is exactly what he was asking. So, like when he said, "Oh, he wasn't letting people rent his buildings," that was something that you used in your favor. But then when we talked about the crime bill with Joe Biden, which was worse than that, you brushed that off.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Preach, Pastor.
You did. You said, and then, but wait, hold on. Wait, I'm gonna
Boy,
give
them
it to you.
veins coming out of his head.
No. But you didn't. You see how you just said that just now? You didn't say that.
Nobody said crime bill.
Yes,
I
we
said
did.
He said we talked. We
We
brought
all-
it up.
He said,
Roll the tape back and see if you said crime bill.
We all said
Yes,
it. I
yes,
know for a fact I said it.
Yes,
I said it, and then
He said it, he
doubled
said it.
down.
have
I
a
know I
problem
didn't
with
say
Joe
it,
Biden with the crime bill.
But you didn't say that.
but you still go vote for him?
Absolutely,
But you
I
still
even
vote
said
for him,
that the
so it don't
crime bill
matter.
shouldn't be or criminality. There's a completely different crime rate,
And
criminality,
criminality is
crime bill.
different.
We talked about that. But that's the point. Some people get so, I'm married to a beautiful woman who when she locks in on her opinion, that's all she's going to see. And everything else is adversarial. And I'm like, I don't understand that person, but I'm gonna respect that person because I want to be respected. So if I'm not dumb for being on the different side of the street than you, then you're not dumb. And you haven't heard me say once you're dumb, but I've heard you multiple times say I'm dumb or we're dumb or anybody who thinks that way is dumb. So let you know the rocks you throwing will be returned if you continue to throw them. Fair enough. And you don't want that because you don't want a rock thrown at you. That's not fair enough. Stop, look, let that layer down of masculinity or ignorance that is like, yo, I'm down for the bus. I'm not down for the bus. If you shoot at me, I'm screaming loud, I'm running far and fast. I hate when people act like, dog, you ever got bust at? This shit ain't cute. Like, stop acting like this shit cute when it come back to you. It's cute when you throw it. It ain't cute when you got to deal with it. So this is just a guy that I met once. Have you ever met Donald Trump? No. Okay, I met once and you met him once. Like, the point is, why are we gonna have an issue with somebody who ain't even gonna come around here and bless us to the degree you say he is?
And the playing field has to be even. If you're gonna say, I don't like this person for these reasons, you gotta use that same energy for both people. Because even Kamala, she got a stained resume on stuff she's done against black men as well. So if you're gonna bring up what Trump did to black people, you gotta use that same energy on both sides.
Say it with your chest.
And your whole
nigga.
time,
Get him.
and you know, you're my man. But my whole time, everything you said was against that side. But the other side got the same stuff against them. You ain't brought that up one time.
One time.
I've been sitting listening. I haven't heard none of that.
Well, like I said,
Give him the mic. Give him the mic. Go.
you have a choice between two people, right? You have to pick what you think is the lesser of the two evils. Okay. And I feel like the Democratic side is a lesser of the two evils by a long shot. For the economy, for job creation, for humanity, for not letting environmentalists run who dirty up the atmosphere run amok, to not giving banks full control, any of that.
All of that said, you're fired. Because you just lost the popular vote. You lost your own swing state. The swing states, you lost all. It's a blue state. California damn near switched.
We lost all. Absolutely.
You don't flip California, you keep messing around.
Listen,
I'm messing with you, but in all seriousness, let's laugh off some of these L's. It's nothing worse than when you see a guy who doesn't go good game at the end of the game when he took an L, right? You're like, dog, you can't even. I had a coach not slap my hand in a basketball game with 8-year-olds because he was mad because I was the coach. Why was I the coach? I'm a former football player. What does he know about basketball? How is his kid so good? How is his kid so good? Why they keep winning championships? Dude, you staying up studying me. I don't know. Do you know what? Because you running these complex plays, I'm saying, attack his ass. And then you do something else, I say, run. Like outlet. I'm gonna out-hustle your plays. I'm not letting you set that complex stuff up on my boys. And he got mad at me and didn't want to say, good game. Dude, it was a great competition. It was short-lived. Miss Harris got in there way too late. I'll give you that. But she tried. She died.
Listen.
Good game, dog.
It's going to be whatever it's going to be.
Okay.
There's no question about it.
Anybody else want to get in on this before we move on? Because look at Terry. Go ahead and finish your last point, Terry.
That's what I was going to say. It's like, I understand your frustration and my frustration as being a Democrat because it seems like common sense, and a lot of people feel like they're going against their own common sense or what's better for them. So you do want to be like, why are you so dumb? Why are you like that? But I think what it is that tone, that delivery, it's not working. And it's falling on deaf ears on a lot of people who could benefit for those things, but because we quote unquote looking down on them, which we're not, but that's how it's coming off. That the message is not being heard, and they're turning their backs on voting for who they should probably be voting for. So I think it's a delivery thing.
Yeah, it's a respect level too, because I think on the Democratic side, on both sides, but really this specific last 4 years, I feel like on the Democratic card, they got too comfortable with people just siding with them or just voting for them just because. So it's like, I don't really got to do nothing because you're going to vote for me anyway because I know you're not going to vote for over there on that side. So whatever we say, you just going to follow the lead, which is why Biden felt comfortable making that statement. If you don't vote for me, you're not black.
He went to the Breakfast Club, looked Charlemagne in the eye by looking down at him and said, if you ain't black.
If you don't vote for me, you're not black.
Well, that's dumb.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of dumb stuff, and that's the point.
The Democrats got to earn people's votes. That's what it boils down to. You got to earn it.
Okay, we got it. Let's move on. Let's just move on. Because y'all got enough clips. You ain't got, everybody got to earn it.
How's it not
You
earned?
got to just take your,
specific.
What do you mean? You're not saying they got to earn
Specific
it.
Well, I mean, they got to earn
You
it too.
got the lowest
Go
unemployment
ahead.
ever.
Okay, your voice
Lowest unemployment ever, Terry.
Hold on, Democrat. Hold on, Republican. Hold on, Crip. Hold on, Blood. Y'all just talk. Oh, I mean, y'all just find anything to bang on.
Period. It's not just Democrat, Republican.
Dang.
I'm in the middle. How are you going to earn my vote? Make me vote for you. What policies are you going to follow?
By having a booming economy, your 401k is through the roof. and your people are employed, and your aunt and your great aunt and your mom and your dad have health care that works for them.
That's a very general thing.
What do you
specific.
mean? Those aren't general.
But
Those
those
are absolute specifics.
But there's different kind of groups that have gone and got specific policies done because, like, are we gonna get that political?
Yeah, go.
I mean,
What are you talking
But I'm
about?
saying,
I just gave
like,
you
there-
3 or
there-
4 specifics. I just gave you specifics. Healthcare.
why is there no
economy?
Why is there
and
no
employment.
Why is there no black crime bill, anti-black crime bill? When COVID started, we had an anti-Asian crime bill right away because that went through. Right. Now, when Obama was in office, we got like a lot of LBGT. I'm sorry if I'm not saying
You
the
know
thing,
what it is.
but we got a lot of those laws
LGBTQ.
passed because they lobbied for it. That's what they voted for. What are we voting for that's going to specifically help us? Specifically, because a general thing.
Oh no, he gonna hide behind something that it ain't him because that's what he do.
What are you talking about?
I'm just messing
I
with you.
just gave
You can't even
specifics.
take no jokes no more. That's why I know you off your square, homie. Look, I voted, and you don't know who I voted for, Trump. Like, it's a rap. Like, I don't care about no smoke. Like, dog, it's okay. Like, I thought the damn Rams could win. They lost. Good game. Good game. Move on. I'll see you next week. All right, let's move on to this beef. Y'all thought that was some beef. Oh, here we go. Cam Newton and Jason Whitlock are going at it right now. And I need somebody to make sense of this beef just because maybe I'm in the forest. Maybe I'm in the tree and I can't see that I'm in the forest. Somehow, some way, I may be too close to call this one. But it looked like it started off. First of all, let's just name the characters. Jason Whitlock. I know what y'all gonna say. Good Lord, people don't like Jason Whitlock. And I've worked with him before. I like Jason Whitlock. I do understand when people want to regurgitate when they hear his name. Why? Because he puts hot sauce on everything, including cereal. And you're just like, damn, everything doesn't need a hot sauce. But that's Whitlock. And Cam Newton, one of my favorite creators out there literally is Cam Newton. I have watched 3-hour episodes of Cam Newton. And like, look, it ain't, yes. And I don't love it all because I'm like, Cam, come on. Like the Corey Holcomb one. I was like, come on, Cam, come on. But the point is, I love Cam. But he inserted himself in the conversation off of the FS1 lawsuit, Joy Taylor in specific. Everyone came out and put the cape on for Joy Taylor in a way that was kind of blind to what the details were because Jason Whitlock's like, I was there. I know what was real, what was fake, what was said, what was not. Let me take this one. You know, I'm David Ruffin. You know, let me sing this song. And Cam wanted to go at it, and they went back and forth. Seems like if you read the scoreboard, Cam is making himself look bad in conversation because he's talking about something, one, he may not know about, but two, why are you even going that hard for something you may not know about? But I just want to open it up to everybody because these are two people I do know, respect. Jason Whitlock, Cam Newton, where are you guys with this?
I would say, Justin, looking at the content, I think it has little to do with the subject matter and more to do about like the medium in terms of how media has kind of changed in terms of the way we go name calling back and forth. I think Cam's thing, when you look at the clip of Whitlock and his partner Steve Kim, it's not necessarily them disputing Cam's fact, but it's the way that they talk about Cam. As if, you know, we talked about here, no one in the league is a scrub. Right. But the way that they talk to Cam, I think the last thing I saw you talked about, just have the same energy. Because a lot of us, when we engage in this form of sports media, when we say stuff that we normally wouldn't say to the person's face. So as we talk about putting hot sauce on it, he certainly is escalated to a point where if you say that to someone in their face, it's probably going to be a brawl. And so I just think it's the sensationalism that Whitlock has been prone to do because he knows how to stir the pot. I think that's the reaction. In terms of Cam, speaking on Joy and all that stuff, like, look, if you don't know what's going on there, if you haven't worked in that environment, it's hard to really speak on it. And so Cam has to know his lane in terms of that place. But I would think the sensationalism of the conversation led Cam to respond the way they responded.
Yeah, I usually don't agree with Whitlock in most of his takes, but I think on this one he was actually right. Because when he was speaking on Joy Taylor, he didn't really say anything about her that was like foul play. He was speaking on...
Talking about the peanut butter skin?
Right. So it was funny.
I mean, it was.
But that's not
it
a
was
fun-
very sensationalized.
It was funny.
The big rack
but
and
he
the peanut
didn't
butter
disrespect
skin.
her. He didn't disrespect her, but it was funny.
I have not laughed out loud
him when I
that many
seen
times.
it.
Dog, I can't stop laughing when he said like,
That big
Yo, he
rack with
going-
that peanut butter skin. He didn't disrespect her. It was funny though. It was funny.
Is that
He could have said that in a way.
Is that
in a
disrespectful?
way.
Is that what you're
Big
saying?
rack. I actually think that was the more respectful way of saying it, because we could have said that whole. There's other ways we could say that.
I don't.
where it
Okay,
comes across
okay. The
different.
big. Let me listen. First of all, we got two things
He
here.
might not think she a
peanut
bad.
butter
He might
skin.
just think she got a big rack.
Isn't that like objectively saying you got skin close to the look of peanut butter? Now I get the big cans when people try to say, "Yo, that's not." But look. I was raised by my grandma too, and I'm not offended by it much, if anything. So I'm that guy. So please take everything going forward on this show. Like, it don't faze me. But peanut butter skin shouldn't faze anybody. Does it? Okay, so we got one off the table.
Big cans is the political way of saying it, man. It's nice. When you with your friends, do you say big cans, or do you say it differently?
I got some Chico Bitty, you know?
That's my point. That's my point.
Chico bitties is worse
That's
than
my
saying big
point.
cans.
He could have said it a way more disrespectful way.
That's not what his friends. He's on the air.
That's why he said big
To
cans.
Bucky's point, Whitlock is saying, I'm going to bring my group text. My group text is alive. I'm going to talk like I talk amongst my friends because that's how I'm being authentic. Well, Cam is like, I'm presenting, I'm producing. You don't talk to her like that. You don't talk. But even if he does, what did he say? See, that's what Cam got caught up in, as we say, the window dressing. Cam got caught up in the motion. The play coming right in front of you. Why you care about the receiver going away? We just did that to make your eyes lose discipline. You lost discipline because you're like, Whitlock said this and this. But what did he really say? He's like, I was there. I've been heard that. I was there. That may be true. And Cam didn't give any credence to that. He kind of hid behind, well, you look that way or you couldn't be that guy. But if Joy is alleged to do what she was doing and it's true, she's that girl. He ain't got to be that guy. She's that gal. Because that gal messed with somebody, respectfully, Charlie, my homie. Whitlock look better than Charlie, I think. I don't even know how to say
Cam
it.
called himself Superman for a reason. He like wearing that cape.
Ooh.
He came in trying to save.
I wanna be
Don't save.
Don't
save her. She don't want to be saved. Don't save her.
Cam was out here campaigning to get chose. That's what he was doing.
Yeah, it really struck me in a weird way.
But I feel like Cam did a little extra too because he's in that new role. He's trying to take that media to another. My mom always taught me, if you don't know nothing about nothing, be quiet. You know what I'm saying? Just be quiet. Just be quiet. Sometimes you ain't always got to insert yourself in
Grown folks business.
in some stuff. You can sit up there by everybody and be like, hey, I'm
You know how you know Whitlock won that though? Because if you ever having a back-to-back with somebody, it's just words. The first person to threaten the other person to a fight, you already lost.
Dog, locker room.
You already lost.
NARPS.
I got you.
Y'all got to know this in the locker room. Whenever somebody getting clowned, the first one that brings up money, lost.
Yeah.
Because as soon as he starts saying, I got my money,
You ain't got nothing to
lost.
say.
Feelings hurt.
I paid your wife is
Trade.
You talking about how much my taxes are? Like, that's not the response. And I knew from hello Cam was off base, and I'm like, Cam, don't do it. I like you. Like, oh, you gonna go down that hole? And he went down that hole, and then he doubled up on that hole because y'all stupid. I know what I'm picking. I know these words. So, because the point is because y'all stupid. Cam, there's literally when people say there's an agenda in media and bias, I'm like, that sounds like some spooky thing, but the real is you get rewarded by a culture that is looking for you to say certain things, do certain things, be certain things, right? That's what it is. You know you can go certain places at work, no matter what it is, and get away with it. First thing we do when we check in, the reason why people are so reserved when they get to a new environment is because they checking in to see what I can get away with and what I can do. Like, you ain't gonna show them your full self, right? The first thing you're doing is like, what they want in here and what they ain't gonna allow. Because human beings are wired to get the most by doing the least. And then when you see Cam literally say, I'm just gonna take up for Joy and blast you, that's two different things. Why don't you just take up for Joy? What I gotta do with it? Like, and he was there? You imagine me talking about the Baltimore Bills game and blasting Lamar and then trying to overtake what he said about what happened. You fumbled because you're trying to do too much. And he's like, no, I'm trying to switch the ball. And I just got caught slipping. Like, I don't understand that. So somebody please help me understand what's going on in the media, because this is a little civil war, the authentic voice. I'm in the basement. I'm at the crib. I built my own production studio. I'm at a network. I get censored. I can't say cans. I gotta say, can't even say Tiggos. You off there.
Mr. Disrespectful.
Yeah. What's going on? Like this civil war? Whitlock and Cam almost embodied to me the greater civil war: network versus independent media.
They say mainstream. It would be MSM. Mainstream media versus independent. I think what you have is we're in the midst of a crossroads, right? We have some people that don't trust mainstream media, like things that we grew up on watching Walter Cronkite and Dan Rather. There are people that now, they don't believe in those things. They don't believe in ABC News and CBS News and NBC News and those things. And so what has happened is you had a bunch of independent content creators weigh in and offer opinions. And as our news shifted from we report the facts, you decide what the facts, you decide your opinion based on the facts that we presented, to have an opinionated news media where we lead you down certain ways to believe certain things is changed. And so when you have independent content creators who have the reach, social media and those things, it's impacted. And so that's where you have, and even when you look at Whitlock and Cam, they still, in this meme, are both on their independent things. It's not like Cam is lobbing those things from ESPN to Whitlock and he's responding from fear, like it's their own 4th and 1 versus Fearless, as opposed to like a
That's
traditional
kind of like
media.
in the Bible. I'm gonna give it to you. In the Bible, it says, "Be hot or cold, not lukewarm. I'll spit you out my mouth." So it basically is like pick a side. And like Cam is hybrid. He on ESPN on Fridays, and every other day he had 4th and 1 and Cam's production studio, all that great stuff. And I'm like, if you're trying to make them happy and yourself happy, there's gonna be moments where y'all both not gonna be happy. And this sounds like one of those moments where Cam tried to sound ESPN-ish more than he wanted to sound 4th and 1. And I like 4th and 1, Cam, because remember, those cats you smiling with now used to destroy you when you used to do this. Why is he making it all about himself? And now you're sitting right next to him. And like, look, I get it, because I've been on both sides myself, but you gotta pick a side. You know what I'm saying? You banging or you not? Like, don't walk out the house trying to be hybrid.
I think that most of the new content creators are trying to, instead of reporting the news, they're trying to create the news. They're trying to make it about themselves. Like, that's the whole issue or problem with what we call media today. Are they really media because they're on a podcast in their own basement and they have 1,000 followers? Some people call them media. I don't call them media. You know what I'm saying? But that's the reality of it.
The journalistic standards have changed. So
Absolutely.
Before, when I first started writing, I believed that writing, there was something noble about being a writer. Like you were respected, particularly if you wrote for a news organization, whatever. People went to J school, you learned ethics and standards that came along with those things. Well, all of those norms have been wiped away. And there's been this mistrust that's been created when it comes to, look, man, we talk about people not wanting to fact check. You know, like we want alternative opinions and facts and those things. And so it's a different thing. But I think it's even bigger than just mainstream and independent. There's still a faction of folks that Cam is an athlete who is now taking his own story to media versus those who were traditional journalists and media members. There's still a discord.
There's a battle there.
Because when you think about the number of athletes that have podcasts that are taking control of their content, it's still a little different thing.
Yeah,
Like,
it was, I mean, don't
we're in a
forget,
civil war in that regard too.
It's when we used to watch ESPN, right? Whoever said something, even the Jordan days, if they said something anywhere close to negative about Jordan, he would go come out, destroy him, whatever. We thought the same thing, right? If this person didn't like us on ESPN, CBS, Fox, our motivation was to get back at them. So now that we have all these athletes in this space, right, it's still a little, let me get back at the media content. And it's the resentment of this whole, of the politics
Do you
of
think
it.
the media takes it a little bit too far, some of the stuff they say?
They always
And
do.
some of the stuff they
Always.
do now
Always.
because
they got
they
the
want
resentment because they didn't make it.
Exactly, or because they know if they get that, it's going to get the clicks.
Facts.
It's going to get the thing. Because sometimes
That's
I
their
feel
only
like,
way to get clicks.
Exactly. That's the part that's why I hate about some of the guys that are in the league and do the media stuff. Like Cam's been in them shoes. He's been in them locker room before. Sometimes with some of the stuff he says, like nobody
But
try to
Cam
do
is
that.
not in the locker room anymore, so passing yards and touchdowns don't get me paid. What gets me paid is the nods
it's
from
still-
Stephen A. Smith
but
and the executive producers up here. And that's what, look, I've been pulled that way, and I resisted it to the point where it was like, I'm not gonna be the top dog. It didn't mean I don't need to be working here. It's just like, I'm not about to kill a dude who's better than me.
It's good to hear that from your angle because I don't know that part. And hearing that from you, it helps me understand it like better because that kind of helps me
You wanna know
understand
the
where he's
top
coming
dogs?
from now.
You ready? Let me give you this list.
Could you kill the top dog?
Oh, I could be easily. I could wake up tomorrow and say, you know what, forget my kids, forget the legacy, forget how I want to lead this world better than I got it. Let me tell y'all how to get this. And I would be this gonna sound crazy. I would be the biggest dude, because it's not hard. This is it. You know how the biggest dudes are? Listen to them. Jim Rohn. First of all, Jim Rohn make more than all these dudes. People don't understand. Jim Rohn is the dude. Forever.
I remember my little special idea.
He lived next to Kobe Bryant without playing any basketball. Jim Rohn. Colin Coward. Dan Patrick. Stephen A. Smith. Skip Bayless. That's our top 5 in the last few decades, right? Name the player. Bill Simmons. Name the player. Go. You know what? There's a whole disconnect and lack of respect for that process. And I met Stephen A. Smith when he first got on. We were doing the best damn sports show. I still was playing. I showed up with 38 chains on, big old Mitchell and Ness is on, like, what up? And I'm meeting this quiet guy in the green room. I'm like, oh, okay.
He was quiet?
Yes, I was on Best Damn. First time I met him.
He was on Best Damn?
Yeah. Wow. He did an interview with me. And I literally go in there, and it's like, I'm getting the fanfare because I'm still playing. He's just a Philadelphia Inquirer reporter. Say hi. Hey, how you doing? Whatever. We chilling. You know, donuts, bagels. We ain't talking much. We get on. The lights come on. And now I'm saying this for real, in real time. I was amazed. I was like, yo, he a beast. He is it. I'm not even thinking about broadcasting. I'm just doing it because John Sally the homie and I live close to LA. And I'm like, this guy, why isn't he bigger? And I saw him, and then he go back into the cave, like, oh, what's up? I was like, he turned it on. But
theater.
yes, but you know what comes with that is, what is my ammo? I don't have experiences to pull on ammo, so I could pull you down to be my ammo so I can get up there. And that's what happened in the game. So when these guys are either already ahead of us or they're passing us by, you can see the guys who want to be next. Ryan Clark is losing his player pass by the day.
Yeah, I hate seeing
Emmanuel
that.
Acho by the day.
I hate seeing that.
Dog, and look, these are homies until they not. And if they not, I still ain't mad at them. Because I'm at the party too. You ain't gonna ever make me move, and I ain't gonna ever come at you like you crazy. But this is how it is. I know what they want to hear up top, and you know it too. Are you gonna say it?
Are the athletes? Go ahead. Go ahead, brother.
Well, real quick, I know we shifted a little bit, but back to what both of y'all said. Y'all made good points. We talking about the mainstream and the independent. The mainstream has changed a little bit, and then on it, like you said, the independent side, they're looking for the clickbait, so they're saying crazy things. With the Whitlock and Cam situation, I don't think it's a mainstream independent thing, but only on one side. I feel like because Joy Taylor was in the mainstream, the major networks kind of backed up off of it.
They didn't cover it.
They didn't address it. So now, when the independent is speaking out, his voice seems that much louder.
Yeah.
Because there's no opposition. There's nobody on the other side talking about it. And that's
it.
where the mainstream could have stepped in. And they
But why would they step in it? Because they're going to step in it.
Because
They got their
Yeah.
own skeleton,
yeah,
so I get it.
because when they step in, it becomes bigger. It can lay in the weeds. It can exist on X and Facebook and IG. But if they address it on air, now it
Now
becomes
it's
a
a-
mainstream media.
Hold on, let me push back at that. This is the third lane because I love the 2 lanes you created. Mainstream, independent. Independent is not weeds anymore. We just saw an election where at the end, the night of, the eve of, Joe Rogan says, we already knew it, but Joe Rogan says, I endorse Donald Trump. You go before that, the circuit of where Miss Harris went versus where Donald Trump went, and all of their media, the biggest media noise was coming from independents. It was her going on Get Like Daddy or something. I should know the name of it. It's a huge, Call Me Daddy. Right, she married to some dude went to Columbia. Salute, homie. So she's there, and then he's like, all right, I'm gonna go on Rogan, and then you won't go on Rogan. And the conversation for the last 3 weeks of the lecture was, oh, you ducking Rogan. And like, these are huge influences. And I just wanna say, like, we're watching that shift. I still think mainstream is mainstream.
Yes,
Like,
but it has shifted. And I personally think that we helped shift it. 2018, me and T.O. was the first football players to ever have a podcast, right? And since then, of course, I Am Athlete, Pivot, all that, and now you see every, of course, athlete have their own podcast.
Facts.
But it's over, if you ask me, because now the athlete can get to their fan base when they want and pitch what they want. So it doesn't matter what ESPN says, right? Kevin Durant can say, this is what I think about this situation. Or, right, Josh Allen can say what he wants about this situation. So the athlete can say whatever they want because of their own podcast, their own show, and because of their social media. I think that whole ESPN and ABC, all that
Let me
stuff
give you this,
is
and
done.
I'm gonna give it to you next. Djokovic just finished a tennis match. And at the end of the tennis match, he didn't speak to the media on court, like normal, like tradition. And everybody was like, what the hell, and boo, and all of a sudden you negative, slander. He went right to the tunnel and did just an IG Live. I'm sorry, I'm gonna tell you why. The guy had talked about me and my country and Serbia and all this stuff. He hadn't apologized, I told him to. The network hadn't apologized. I'm not doing it. I love you guys, peace out. That's a whole different animal than before. And the fear is, wow, that's going to be the new media because these athletes can do it themselves. Without the third party, without the slant, let me put what I feel about that on top of what really happened. And I can't lie, dog. I got handcuffed for many years because I wouldn't put what they wanted to hear on top of that. I would put, no, I think that's what happened. Doesn't mean my takes were great. It just means that I wasn't gonna ever add that layer of fluff that I knew would make y'all happy, but wasn't gonna be authentic.
Well, yeah, I mean,
You don't want to make an enemy of me.
if you're doing that for
What?
years and years,
What? Yes, I do.
at a time before somebody's gonna be like, I don't want to deal with y'all no more. I'm gonna just put this message out myself, because then I can. We don't need you. I'm not worried about that.
Look at this transition. Speaking of, I could do this myself. Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. It hurts my heart too. I don't even want to go through this. They are not on speaking terms. Scottie Pippen has been on, look at his face, been on the circuit saying, we had a conversation during the pandemic and it's over. We understand, it's settled, we understand, it's resolved, but that's it. Which is crazy because there's a lot of ways we're gonna play this. One, dog, who grew up watching Jordan and Pippen was like, dog, can you get anything better than milk and cereal? Like peanut butter and jelly? Like that was like taco meat and cheese. That was it. And now you see what it really is or what it really was. It's crazy. So they're not on speaking terms. Scottie Pippen says we won't be on speaking terms. Just want to hear your response and thoughts on maybe the greatest duo ever, not even talking anymore. What y'all got?
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Like, well, even before that, like just talk about like pro athletes being in the locker room. Marcellus and I can sit beside each other every day in the locker room, but if one of us is traded or cut, we may not speak to each other again.
Professional.
Like that's just what it is. Like the relationships really in the pro level a lot of times are acquaintances. We're acquaintances. We're not friends. Whereas our relationships in high school and college are deeper. The bonds are that. It's more transactional than transformational when it comes to being at that level. So I'm not surprised with MJ and Pip not falling out. Now, when you think about all the other personal stuff and all that, that's one thing. But when you really think about it, think about the dudes who are your dudes that you play with. How many of them dudes you still?
No. That is all great as the look, this book says Bua. That's the great cover. But if you open up to page 1, that's Jordan and Pippen. They're not just teammates. We had to do it. We carried a lot of this. So it's rare. Even, no, let me finish this. It's not just we carried it. We're not on speaking terms. There's no one in the league that I ever played with that I would ever publicly say, we're not on speaking terms. I see you, what's up?
I get what you're saying, but like,
what's up?
bro, Pippen and Horace
And I've gotten dealt wrong by some teammates.
Pippen and Horace Grant went on tour. They went on tour talking
Jordan
about
hating.
MJ right after the end of Last Dance.
Yeah.
Like they went on tour.
So Jordan already had the tour called The Last Dance.
Do you believe what Pippen said? Now tell me if you believe it. Pippen said that him and Jordan never have went out to dinner. Never.
Yeah.
During career,
I can say that.
after career.
Yeah,
So
I
you
can-
believe that?
But when I was at my peak and the best players on the team, LT I never went to dinner with, but he my homie now, and we was homie then. But it was like Drew Brees Jr. We did. Like there's a select group of like you can say. I mean, come on, like we got lives. Like either I'm single, you married, or we both married. But we
they
don't
was
want-
both doing their thing in Chicago for so many years.
Never dinner. Yeah, that's
Never
why. That's
dinner.
why.
Complicated.
That's
It's
wild.
a very simple situation.
Uh-oh.
And Bucky gave this amazing professional TV answer. At the end of the day, the man's son smashed his wife.
But they had to be.
That's
but
it.
they-
What was the
There's
beginning
no
of the
coming
day?
back from that.
No, that's
There ain't
true.
no coming back from
I
that.
can't
That's what it's all
Why you think I
about.
said at the beginning? There's a
I
whole
think
bunch
they-
of
no,
going
I'm saying they-
What am I
I feel
supposed to tell my son if you're putting the milk out for the cat to sip on?
Right.
That has nothing to do with that. Has nothing to do with Jordan.
What am I supposed to tell
Pippen's
him?
taking that.
I'm supposed to tell him don't drink the milk?
Pippen's taking that. I
said the
understand what
milk
you
out on
said
the
from
porch.
Jordan,
Get that
but
milk,
Pippen's
boy.
taking that angle.
Send the milk out on the porch. What am I supposed to tell him?
Pippen's taking that angle though. Pippen's taking that angle. I'm with you. Pippen's taking that angle though. I'm with you. Pippen's taking that angle. I'm looking at it from the outside.
That is the most
Shit, you
gangster-
right. You definitely right.
That's, you know what? There's only one line more gangster in TV history. Most Megs. Remember that?
That's terrible.
Buck naked in your mama house. Most Megs.
Boy, what's the bigs? Oh, no.
Bucky. He put the milk out and what?
The cat. You think the cat's not going?
I mean, I know.
What am I supposed? What am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to tell my son.
Yes. I've had a teammate marry my ex.
Yes.
And I had another one
Yeah.
date another one.
Yeah. I mean,
Yes.
That happens, but we're
But when
peers.
you're
But
my kid.
hold on. You know what porch you putting the milk on is the problem.
hold
It
on.
ain't the milk, it's the porch.
But what-
Don't put the milk on
On
my
my
porch.
porch.
But when
Hey,
you-
I'm still affected. It's
But
just
when
a shit. If y'all don't know the story, y'all gotta know the story. But the point is, you can't put it on my porch, and say, oh, it's just for any cat in the hood.
Well, he's
nah,
any cat,
why
man.
you ain't put it on her porch? Anna Marie's. Oh, sorry. All right. Why didn't he put that milk on her, on Jordan's porch? On Pippen's porch?
What is he? She put the milk out there. Like, if anything,
He ain't the cat, she the cat. He ain't supposed to take
the son is like, I didn't play with
The
you.
son should not take the milk.
You got to be kidding.
I get this.
Out of all the milk in the
It's
world,
two sides to that.
Hey,
Out
the
of all
son
the
could have
milk in the
tasted the
world.
milk, but he shouldn't have went public with the milk.
She went public with it.
At the end of the day,
She's gonna go public.
the
She got that white around her lip.
that's her thing.
she's so thirsty.
That's her.
That's the son.
And I mean, and if he wouldn't have done it, then somebody else would have.
But let somebody else. She ain't. I mean, come on.
Obviously, he wasn't feeling it that day, but
She is not
He agreed
surprised.
for
I am not
She is
the
not
teammate.
surprised.
I am the son.
Ooh, we get deep.
I am not the teammate.
Hold on. She want to
What
go
is
public.
my position?
She does not go public. Like any moment where we say, when you walk in somewhere, you're always trying to figure out what you can get away with and what needs to be done. She walked into that relationship, was like, what can I get away with? You're Jordan's son. Whatever I say and do will be trampolined into 10x. Like every other girl dates somebody and something happened, oh, they went to Denny's, so what? I go to Denny's with you, they blowing this out of proportion. So she reads him, and I met them before, but I don't know them like that, but they nice. Marcus is like, be real. Your daddy is
Michael.
Miguel. You talking about a shadow, it's constantly dark.
Yeah.
Your daddy, Michael Jordan. How can I ever separate myself from being that shadow? I don't know. Let my woman do the dirty work for me. Let her be the one that pop off for me and let the resentment out that I got because everywhere I went, as great as I wasn't great enough. Like, that's what's gangster about this conversation. And I don't want to go that deep, but I'm saying...
Yeah, I don't think it was that deep. I think
deep.
you had an older female who knows
deep.
exactly what a young dude like, and she turned him
know
out
what?
real
Hey,
quick.
hold on,
and
Bucky.
this is what we do.
Bucky, cats
And
like
turn them-
warm milk
Come
too,
on,
right?
man.
They don't like that cold milk out there. She put that warm milk. She put
Yeah,
that
she
milk
turned
up
him
for
out
him.
right quick. That's all it was.
She knew what kind of milk to put.
Guys, just making Jordan.
It might have been that hazelnut milk too.
Go back to
It
Jordan
might have been
and
that
Pippen,
hazelnut milk.
Why does
You guys are
hold
talking-
on, moment
you
of
guys are
silence.
talking about the
moment of silence.
symptom.
Nope,
This is just-
Moment of silence. Eugene has spoken. All right.
So
Let Eugene go.
this is the straw that broke the camel's back. You guys are talking about the symptom. Have you watched the Hall of Fame speech when Pippen was introduced by Jordan? I was watching again yesterday. Do you know what Pippen said? It caught my eye, caught my attention. He said, Jordan is the best teammate. Pause. You watch other speeches and best friend, my homie, my dog, stopped at best teammate. That's it. Teammate. That's 15 years ago, right? So this is just me speaking. I'm just thinking it's before. It's always been there, but as a casual fan who's always loved Jordan and Pippen, never thought about that, right? They're playing together, winning all the time. Why wouldn't you be friends? But as pros, even as an ARP, I'll say, I've had teammates I played with. We won championships. Intramural leagues, right? If we went
Those
to a
count,
club
those
or
count,
hung out,
those
I
count.
don't want to talk to them. I don't want to hang out with them. Right? There's that.
I wanna push
on
back.
the court, we're tight.
Let me
On
push
the court,
back
no.
because I don't like ice skating. I go way too deep too many times. Here we
Room full of
Here we
men.
go,
Pause.
Jay. Hello. Never heard that. Here we go. If I'm Scottie Pippen, am I the guy who got fatigued of Jordan this, Jordan? When Jordan passed to Paxson, when he passed to Kerr, it was still Jordan passing. Kind of like how Kyrie felt when LeBron got all the love for the block and I made the shot that got the points that got us the victory. So is there a Pippen alive that said 15 years ago, hey, bro, like you ain't gonna ever clear the air? Like you
Can't have everything, including my wife. That's what he's saying, yes.
But at the time he didn't know that. But the point is taken. Hey, bro, you ain't gonna ever clarify. You couldn't have done this without me because you've never done it without me. Like I would expect, and I'm gonna send it like this, and you got to answer it. When I first met Junior Seau after I went to the Chargers, and I got $5 from them, so it was a good deal. And everybody was like, "Damn, why do you got this?" And I was making more than Junior, and Lord knows, and we know, I wasn't better than Junior Seau ever in my life. But that's how the game goes, right? So I walked in on pins and needles, real talk. I'm like nervous. I'm like, damn, I'm about to meet Junior Seau. And they acting like I'm the I got billboards. I'm like, I'm not him. He is it. This is San Diego. And I walk in, and the first thing I see is this big smile. It said, buddy, don't spend it all in one place. Take us out. And that was it. Awesome. He cut the tension, right?
Awesome.
When did Jordan even cut the tension?
No,
with
hell no.
Pippen getting his props
Hell
and
no.
his due.
Jordan is not cut like that. Jordan is not cut. He don't got to do that. Jordan isn't.
Pippen wouldn't be mad at you.
Jordan is an a-hole. Do you guys know that? He's a great guy, but Jordan is an a-hole.
But look, when it came to Bill, I think a lot of this stemmed from the documentary. when they put it in how Pippen walked away, when he was supposed to come back in the game and didn't do all of that. Remember in that same documentary, Jordan was the one telling Pippen to hold out, go get your money. He was looking out for Pippen in his best interest, and Pippen didn't want to listen to Jordan. Right, and he went and took that contract, and then later on tried to, right, he tried to get more, but they was like, no. Even the owner told him not to do it, and he went and did it anyway. So I think fast forward, like Bucky just said, he's mad, and he always held that resentment. But it's like Jordan tried to help you.
Jordan,
You didn't want to listen.
Jordan helped him his whole career.
His whole career.
So for Pippen to run around and be saying all this stuff right now,
I mean,
is
at the end of the
absolutely
day,
blasphemy.
it wouldn't be no Pippen without Jordan. At the end of the day, like you got to look at it like that.
That's true.
Jordan would have still been Jordan.
He would have still
Exactly.
been
I don't care how anybody
I
sliced
don't
that.
think Jordan wins
still
those
gonna be-
championships without Scottie.
No, he would have still won him.
I don't think so.
You just gotta
He wouldn't won 6. He wouldn't won 6.
Oh, no.
He might have won 3.
Jordan is not winning none of them without Pippen,
That's what I'm
dog.
saying.
Well, that's
y'all gotta understand when Jordan
Scottie Pippen
Jordan
was
left,
insane in the
the year that
mid-range.
Jordan left, how many games did it win?
hey,
They won 55 without Jordan.
No, they won
you
more
know
than that.
what?
They didn't win it all.
Woulda,
but
coulda,
they
shoulda.
didn't have
Like-
Jordan.
It's still the
But
best.
what I'm saying
ever
is that
in
you got to
history.
give him his just due. You got to give him his respect
Man, y'all
for his contributions to the team and to the legacy of the Bulls and for Jordan's legacy. I mean, Scottie was a major contributor to that. And
He was. He
Yeah.
was a major contributor,
Batman
but you
and
don't
Robin.
go around now being sensitive and
But you
doing
might
all
win
the
a
stuff he's
you'll
doing
win
now.
a championship without some of the other role players on the team.
Yeah.
You know, but you won't win without Scottie because of the
But,
defense that he provided and because
Yeah.
of and the mismatches he
But I don't
provided on
think Jordan's
offense as
saying
well.
that. Jordan's not saying that. Pippen's trying to put that narrative out there that he is saying that. Jordan's not walking around saying
Jordan's not
nothing.
concerned about any of that. He's
That's
just
what I'm
trying to play
saying.
golf and trying to hang out with his
Jordan
friends.
doesn't
That's it.
Jordan doesn't
He doesn't care. Jordan.
No, he
No.
don't care.
Better than that.
He's like, matter of fact, I'm glad you're upset.
I learned this in the
F you.
media.
Yeah,
Like,
Jordan,
if
F
you don't
you.
say anything,
You the boss.
you are going to win way more than you think by saying something. And that's weird. It's counterintuitive. You're like, I got to get in front of this. And you do in certain things. But collectively, if you just let everybody else kind of like exhaust themselves in their opinions, you're going to win with the fact that I ain't tripping. Like the party don't start till I walk in. This conversation don't even start till I say something. So Jordan is sunning Pippen every single day, even though Pippen may be right. Because he's like, dog, I ain't even tripping. Like, what are you talking about? Like, we play together. And that's why I think he loses it. Let's get to this conversation.
Jordan trying to get his play
Well, and
game
again,
right, man. He ain't worried about
we
that.
all do.
It's so smooth if you let him.
It was gonna be smooth,
Yeah,
but
no,
I
no,
just
go
want
ahead, go
to
ahead.
make sure the point right. We know for the last, since they was dating, whatever, Scottie saw this every day on social media. Jordan never seen this on social media. MJ was not looking at it.
But he had the homie like, hey, dog, check it.
Yes, he had some.
Between tee shots, he was like,
No,
you
his
see this
son was like, I smashed him, huh?
He mad at me talking.
You see what I'm saying?
shit?
But
No, I don't think Marcus talked to Jordan like that. Do he?
And that, yeah, them two, them
Like
two.
once, but not-
Marcus and Mike,
He's the one that's always with him.
yeah, Marcus and Mike are tight.
If MJ come back to me talking about like my teammates X, I'm gonna say there's 8 billion people.
Why
that means
choose-
4 point something women.
Yes.
You really
Has to go that one.
What happened with us?
Jordan
Like
ain't
I'm
gonna
really
do
like
that.
I hate to be too deep. I'm like there's something you're
Jordan
trying
ain't
to.
gonna do
Well,
that
that's the
though.
benefit of having 9-year-old sons, is that we ain't got to worry about that. You know what I'm saying? Now, if we had like a 25-year-old son,
Then you might be
you-
in the
you-
game
you
with.
might have to worry
You
about
might be in the
something like that
game.
happening. But our kids are 9, man. We good.
So we'll ask you this question
and-
25 years from now, right?
And
That's a violation, dog.
if your son is 9 and won't take your advice, you think at 25 he's going to take your advice? Like,
No,
hey,
no,
bro,
I know you already
hey,
did
bro,
it.
hey, bro,
I know
don't.
you already did
Hey,
it.
don't.
But why you do it though? Like we gotta have a real. It's beyond man to man. It's like,
You know
where
what?
did I fail you at? Where did I fail you?
No, they don't think like
They
that.
don't think like
no,
that?
Why
he's
just
like,
go
hey,
public with it? That's the thing. Why just go
Well, if you ever
public?
met her and him, and you understand immediately, she gonna get that out there by hook or crook. All right, let's talk about this Unrivaled versus WNBA. New league, 3-on-3, so Ice Cube ain't a part of it, but it's Unrivaled. It's the women's version of 3-on-3. Look really spectacular if you watched it. Oh yeah, they doing a thizzle. But it's going against the WNBA. They try to get Caitlin Clark. Obviously, she denied. They're trying to go after the marketplace. There's so much interest in women's basketball right now. So it's a lot of ways we could play this. Y'all even like the WNBA? Y'all into women's basketball? What about the Unrivaled League? And just, do you think it has a way to grab market share from the WNBA?
Well, I love it. I'm an unabashed women's basketball fan. Like,
Seriously?
yeah, all my best friends coach women's basketball and hoops and in college.
I'm gonna be real rude right now. Like seriously, purely watching the game that ends every possession with an underhand layup. I'm not, dog, this is gonna sound weird, but I have been to 2 WNBA games with my daughter.
You wrong.
And both times she said, let's go.
You wrong.
She a woman. She she went to UConn. She went to UConn. She seen it. I'm not gonna lie. I don't like the sport, but I'm rooting for them as
The culture.
athletes.
I've always liked the sport. My boy coaches at Elon, got other guys that coach at Georgia State or whatever. So I've always followed it. I've always paid close attention to it. I went to Carolina when Carolina won the national championship with Charlotte Smith hitting the shot. So for me, I've always dug it. I like that they have more opportunities stateside to play. So rather than going overseas during the WNBA offseason, they can make their money here. And because of what we've seen over the last 4 or 5 years, we can talk about Caitlin Clark, we talk about Angel Reese, we got Juju Watkins coming. They're ballers that are coming in the pipeline. And so to be able to see them, Paige Buchers, to be able to see them here, you like it. And at a time when they talk about the NBA's ratings coming down, and not saying that they're rivaling that, it's a different game. I can appreciate the game for what it is, and so I'm excited that they have an opportunity to do it stateside.
I think the female sports in general, right, it's trending up 100 mile an hour. I had season tickets for the Sparks back in the day.
What, $8?
I couldn't afford the Lakers, so I got the Sparks. You
got
know
that
what I'm saying?
EBT.
But
EBT. Where the women at?
But it's like
Courtside like $9.
Right. But again,
$10.
Y'all can take your jokes, y'all ain't in the line.
all to myself. But no. I got 1 through 14.
I'm about the whole
I got 1 through 14. But what last year was, I watched more women's, especially the Final Four. I watched more women's basketball than men's basketball last year. So I'm loving the sport. Yeah. There's just going to be someone, the Jordan of the sport, who has to take it over and move different than the other girls. If it's going to be a
She's
chick,
already there, Caitlin.
No. I think it's somebody different than Caitlin even. Again, she's the Steph Curry. Let's say she's going to transcend the game, but there's going to be another one, and there's going to be another one. I think she's still too early.
There's a Latina ninth grader I've seen on Instagram. I don't know her name. Yeah. She out here nice with it.
That's what I'm
saying.
saying.
And there's the black girl. That black girl
that's dunking.
She got her handles are she doing the most.
So they're coming.
Okay,
they're coming.
This is what I will say. I love the fact that we're the United States. We're on the front. We're the front runners for setting an example for the world of how women's sports should be and what it could provide. You know, as far as what U.S. soccer, what our national team has been able to accomplish, and the different opportunities that
She got to go somewhere or something? No. Hey, you know what that was? That was China hitting you like you ain't been watching our swimming?
Our breakdance
swimming and diving.
I've got a 7-year-old girl and I got a 4-year-old girl. Before, basketball wasn't.
Say
it wasn't like a real.
Say it. You didn't like it, the business, the sport.
The business wasn't.
That's all I'm talking about. Right.
The contracts of the people that got drafted in the first round of the WNBA draft, they're making like $75,000 a year right now. And by the time they come up of age, that opportunity is going to be more.
It's at 240-ish right now. They still are $40 million in the red, despite them having one of their best years ever. So. Look, I'm a realist, and sometimes it feels good, sometimes it hurts. I'm the same fire, but the business sucks. Yeah. The sport is good, not great. I said good. The players, there are great players, and I'm rooting for Caitlin. I'm rooting for Angel. Rooting for Paige. I'm rooting for Juju. But to your point, I thought that Caitlin was going to be Jordan, but maybe she is Steph. and she
I
came
think
before
Juju gonna
Jordan.
come in to be Jordan.
Who?
I think Juju gonna come in.
But it's Jordan.
And again,
has
it
her-
has nothing.
to come in and
It
contribute and bring more attention to the sport.
But it doesn't have to do with their talent on the field though. To go out and market and like kill it and make $50 million in marketing, that person's coming. That girl is coming. Right now, again, Caitlin's not going to make that much. Juju's not going to make that much. But these girls that are coming up, there's going to be some girl that knocks it out the park.
Have you heard
and she's gonna
of
be big.
Araya Wiley? Araya Wiley.
Different angle. You guys are talking about what the NBA has already done. Unrivaled is different from what the NBA is doing, right? So I talked about last time. Kids have short attention spans. Games taking too long. What is Unrivaled doing? 18-second shot clock. Shorter court. The game should be a lot faster. Yeah. So forget women's or men's basketball. They're changing the game altogether, something we've never seen.
Do you think 3-on-3 could be it, though? No. I don't
the next big women's sport in the next 10 years is girls flag football. Watch what I tell you.
That's already been around.
That is
Watch
around.
what I tell you.
Girls flag football's been around.
Yeah.
Like my local high school's had girls flag football for 20
Watch
years.
what I tell
and
you.
women's volleyball, they're putting a lot of money. The son of the co-founder of Netflix, I'm sorry, I forget your name right now. But the point is, they're putting money into women's volleyball and girls flag football.
Girls flag football.
I want basketball to succeed, but where are you guys with this? Basketball has abbreviated so many elements except what matters most. They have made the ball smaller, the three-point line closer, but they look at that rim.
The rim,
they're like,
bring it.
I
was literally just about to say that.
Like, we draw the line right there. If they brought that thing down to 9-ish,
9.5.
That changes the whole
and
game.
if I saw the end of the play like this,
So I literally got the mic to say that. I think that it's not the players, it's the league. The bar is so low in the league that they're allowing like an Unrivaled to come in there and take viewership because they're not adjusting to what their league needs.
Is
So, like,
Rivals
something
going to
like
be
that-
9? Is Rivals going to bring the rim down?
No, but
it's a different
but
time
they
of
have
year,
other
though.
things that they've changed to
to
help,
shot clock,
to help move the
smaller
game.
court.
If the
Got it.
WNBA, like you said,
Why is that so insulting
It's three,
to say?
but it's
Yeah,
three.
I've talked to
ego.
WNBA.
Three,
it's
Yeah.
ego.
Yeah, I've talked to WNBA chicks about bringing the rim down. They're like, no, we
It's
don't
their
want.
ego.
Oh,
But you
don't
play
say
with the
chicks?
smaller ball.
That's not PC.
That's PC.
That's not PC.
It's gonna play.
PC enough.
It's cans and racks.
Right. Right. It is kids. Right.
Might as well say broads. I mean, go back to Archie Bunker. Just say whatever.
Nothing was wrong with Archie.
My peanut butter baby.
NBA is successful
Called it like it
because
was.
of the high flying in the NBA. That's what you like. You like to see the
dunk,
athleticism and somebody getting dunked
no,
on.
Hey,
You
I
can't
ain't gonna
see
lie
that.
though. I like when I see the little girl do behind the back layup or in between the legs.
But how
I'm
many-
just-
I see that in junior high school too.
I'll just play with you.
You wanna
Nah,
watch
but
the
at
White
the end of the
Shadow
day,
again,
but at the end of the day, me being a father, that's why I want to see it succeed much. I got young girls coming up, and I want to give them something.
Yes. So that's why we're talking. The spirit of I think is to make the game as great as it can be, selfishly too, so our daughters can go get it. I got a 4-year-old and a 5-year-old. My 4-year-old's a track star. I can smell it. And my 5-year-old can play some basketball if she wanted to do it. I don't know what they're going to be. I'm not going to push them. But the point is, I want them to have the opportunity, and I want it to be something robust. I don't want them to say, Daddy, I'm going to play basketball, but I'm going to be in Romania for 8 months.
They're both playing flag football.
They were playing flag. Look, do it, whatever it is, but build it.
I'm telling you, that's the sport.
Their business of the WNBA to be subsidized 27 years later still is like, okay, I'm going to end this on this story. Please let me end this on this story so we can get into some other stuff. I was at the ESPYs, and I ain't going to call out the guys' names because they are adult, great males in basketball and other sports, but really basketball. I'm sitting at the ESPYs. I'm with my wife, Anna Marie, so I'm on best behavior, right? So I'm like, all right, this is it. Like, I mean, I got all levels of behavior. So I'm like, all right, this is dope. All the homies, what's up, boy, what's up? Everybody wearing their freshest. I'm out the game now, so I'm dusty. I'm here. So I'm like, what's up, boy, what's up, dog? And then they say, the Gatorade High School Player of the Year. And they show some dude, and everybody's like, oh, cool. He's a baller, basketball player. And then they showed a woman. And nobody said a word through her montage, real life. And then when it ended, no one even looked at the stage to see who it was and when she walking up. Everyone was like, she here. Where is she at? Now, at that time, she's 18, maybe 19, going to college. Skylar Diggins. And I remember that moment hit me. I was like, I saw her play, and I saw how she looked, and I saw how the whole crowd turned around. I was in like a third row. So they're like, where's she at? Jesus. And then they said her name. She walked up. They were like, dog. I was like, I know. I was like, huh? I was, wow.
Inside, internal.
No, there was 3 I did, and I ain't gonna say their names. I was like, man, you saw this, Jesus. She had a baby. Game is great, but not good enough. I don't know. I ain't following.
Right.
But the point is, I thought that was it.
That was the one. You
thought
that
it.
was the one. Right.
What has happened to now we're saying Caitlin Clark's the one? Right. Some said Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, and then mid-season we let Angel go. And then there's Caitlin, because she got snubbed for the Olympics. Yeah. Where is it going, and where is it right now?
Jordan was not Jordan just because of basketball. It had way more to do than just basketball, right? And the marketability, it's all of these things. Of course, it's a perfect storm, whatever you want to call it. But until that person comes along, that sport will not take off.
Okay.
The swag, Jordan.
It's everything. The bald head, the dark skin, the tall,
the knee brace, the way he wore his socks.
Everybody hear that? All right, let's get into it. We got one more level to stay with the ladies. This was interesting. This didn't get headlines because normally stuff that really means something and is impactful doesn't have headlines. It's weird in this world. The Department of Education says that Title IX applies to payments to athletes as well. Everyone knows what Title IX is. That means student athletes. That means, hey, ladies in college, these guys getting $10, $12 million deals in NIL. Where the ladies' deals at? So I'm asking you guys, how is that going to impact college sports, collectives, and do you think that's going to undermine what college sports is becoming? Because now you have to pay the ladies, and let's just get it out there, the elephant in the room, the ladies don't command the same amount of attention and earnings as the men.
They will, because women's basketball alone is going to continue to go up. So their NIL will continue to go up because they're going to get a certain percentage of the revenue that they're bringing in, just like the football players get the biggest percentage.
I'm going to push back. Ohio State just went off my television less than 12 hours ago.
Yes.
You're trying to tell me there's a women's sport or women's team that's going to make that happen again? So we know we're robbing that to give to this. So we're doing the WNBA, NBA model again of subsidizing. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying more the women's NCAA sport will get bigger. They'll start to sell out arenas. They'll get bigger TV contracts per conference. Then for that NIL and or collective, if they know they have a Caitlin Clark coming in, they got to go pay the young Caitlin Clark money, and there's going to be some females on a $2 million deal, just like there are some men football.
How's that going to trickle down to soccer and water polo? Right. That's not softball. That's not.
It's not.
So what are we going to do about those?
They're going to cut those
What are we going to do about those?
They're going to get rid of them so they don't have
They're
to
not
be on
going
the
to
books?
be. They're not going to be under a Title IX version of the NCAA.
That's how it eats.
That's why I want to know. That's what I was thinking.
It eats its own. This is the problem, and I'm not going to term it because it sounds weird and political. This is the problem when you act like everybody has equality beyond the equality of opportunity. Once you give the opportunity, it's on you to go eat. You only eat what you kill. There's no way I can imagine that there are enough women's sports, or let's say any women's sport, that can keep up with the men's sport.
Let's be honest.
Let's be honest.
Go ahead, Bucky.
It's not even women's sports.
It's
There are only
men's
two
too.
sports that make money: basketball and football.
Period.
Like the misnomer has been that all these other sports make it. Basketball and football have been. So the
women only
And in most schools, the basketball team is a non-revenue generating sport. And
So the
the
women
majority
only
of the
have half
schools,
a
we're talking
chance.
about Power 5. We're talking about the big name
boys,
basketball
Power
schools.
4, P4.
Those are the only schools that make money in basketball. The other schools don't make money. They
But-
beat on football
but-
team.
but-
Like even
you
at the
gotta make it
Citadel
up
or
with
even at the
just
smaller
basketball.
schools that we're talking about.
But the
Depends
gymnastics
on the division.
girl from LSU is making $3 million a year. So you can't say, girls, it's only the.
That's true.
Like he just said, you got to go get it.
And
You gotta go. You
But
go
she's,
market. Yeah,
but, she,
The-
but,
yeah,
but
those
she's
quit- you
making
gotta
it.
go-
Everybody, listen, everybody you're naming, they bad.
Well,
The typical ones ain't making that. I'm
I
being
can't-
honest.
I ain't go.
I'm sorry. I'm being honest. I'm being honest. I am sorry.
Not the.
But they're making the move. They're making the move. And I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but that's just the honest
That's
truth.
got something to do with it. If a young girl wants to
But
be.
not everybody you name is.
bad. He's like, if bad meaning bad, no
Bad meaning good.
That's what we talking about. All right, let's
There
get out of
it
this so we can have a show another day. Rooney Rule. Good luck with this one. I am jumping out of this one. Oh, God. Did OG show up? OG showed up. Okay, here we go. The Rooney. All right. All right, let me tell you. Love it or hate it is going to be the conversation. And we saw Mike Vrabel a week or two ago get his job. It seemed like, who else were you going to hire? You fired Jerome Mayo and immediately insert Mike Vrabel. I get it. That's the guy for the gig. But I get text by my financial advisor / friend, Greg Eastman. Y'all don't know who he is, of course. He represents people like Eddie George and others. Point being, Eddie George gets an interview with the Chicago Bears. I know about this before the media does. I'm like, oh, that's dope. That's dope. It happens. Right after that, I mean, I don't think Eddie was at the airport. Ben Johnson is the head coach. Let's just say that he looks different than Eddie George. So this Rooney Rule has become this box you must check, but do you even care what you're writing in the box? So I want to ask you guys, Rooney Rule, love it or hate it?
I mean, I hate it. I hate it because Raheem Morris is one of my all time favorite coaches, and I used to sit down and talk to him off season. He used to always be like, "I know I'm gonna get at least 2 every year." Every year he got checked off the box because he had to fill in that rule. I'm so happy now that he finally has opportunity to go show what he is capable of, because I think he's one of the best coaches I played for besides Gruden. But he was always used to tell me, but he had to do it because it would look bad if he didn't. If he didn't, said it was. He said, I don't want to speak. I don't want to speak on it, but after doing it so many times, you wouldn't want to do it all the time. But you have to do it to hold that thing, and it paid off for him because eventually. Paid off for him. But it's not going. I don't know if it's going to pay off for that. But it's just sad that some guys know going in there that they're just a check off the box.
Yeah, I don't want to hear that.
And the first thing the Patriots announced was that they had interviewed 2 black cats. I can't remember who it was.
Leftwich.
But that was the
Byron Leftwich.
That was the scroll on ESPN.
Of course.
And that was the first thing we heard from the Patriots.
Did we do our part?
So as soon as I saw that, I said, "Oh, they already hired a white dude."
Oh, that part. And how does that make you feel? The pandering, the affirmative action of it, like just it to me just suggests to me that you think I have an inferiority complex. Like, you don't have to interview anybody that looks kind of close to me, because I'm looking around this room, none of y'all look like me, but they want to act like we all look alike. Or we all the same. I'm like, y'all, that's why I don't buy into that. I'm like,
let me I'm
why
gonna
do
push
you-
back.
If there's
I'm
no
gonna
substance, it makes no sense.
I'm gonna push back because if Raheem Morris hadn't been getting those Rooney Rule interviews for 5 or 6 years, would he got the interview for the Falcons job
to get it.
You see what I'm saying?
No,
so maybe it helped.
I put that in that thing. Raheem is one of the top D coordinators in the league.
Right.
Eddie George is coming from a black college. We knew he had some
knew.
far.
No, I know.
We knew
I'm
he was a
not
far
saying-
spectrum. But I feel you.
Like, maybe that's
right
part
with that.
of
You're
it.
right with
Get some
that.
wings.
But when they're pulling Eddie George in and Byron Leftwich, who hasn't been in the league for the last couple of years,
They got Leftwich
they're just New England. They're just that's a check off the box. I'm
Time
talking
out.
about.
DP, I didn't know this. Leftwich interview for Chicago?
for New England. No, for New England.
New England?
Completely 2 cats you
And
knew.
that's my dog.
You
That's
knew
my
good and well
quarterback.
neither one of those cats were getting that
They weren't
job.
going to get the kids.
It was a checklist. So if there's no substance behind it, what's the point?
Well,
it's
but then here's the thing. If we say, what's the point? And then we just leave everyone to their own devices to hire who they're going to hire and just not even talk to anybody, then what you do is you run the risk of not even being exposed to people. So it's not about the interview that you go on.
Yeah.
It's about having your name out there so the next time maybe you get a genuine interview for somebody else. If not, it's going to be the same thing that we're saying. If you look on the sidelines, we now see more black coaches than we've ever seen. We see more black quarterbacks and all that other stuff. At some point, you have to put it out there. And if it wasn't happening before, where guys weren't getting opportunities and exposure in those things, it'd never happen if you were allowed to go back to what it was.
Facts.
So you have to have it to at least create the conversation. But you can't make anybody hire anybody. Right. But you at least want to have an opportunity to have the discussion, regardless of whether it's real or fake.
So you can't legislate desire, but like EPMD, please listen to my demo. And if you listen to my demo, I can make an album, and the album gonna sound better than the demo. But you gotta first listen to my demo, and I think I respect that. Nothing. See, this is why no one's dumb. I'm going back because no matter what side you're on, you see the other side's point. Like I hear you,
because
I don't want to do those fake interviews, but I hear you.
Because Bucky, you never know. Eddie George might get a bigger job in college now.
Yeah.
And work his way up now.
Because
he just got that. Exactly, I understand that.
Here's another to what Bucky said, right? If Byron Leftwich does an interview for the Patriots, it's across the ESPN ticker, who knows that he's a candidate?
He might get an old coordinator job somewhere.
So nobody would, but since they did that, they helped his career out, and now he's gonna be on people's minds.
Because it extends beyond. So now it's opened up beyond just head coaching, like your coordinators and all your high executive positions.
How does that interview go when you know you ain't gonna get it?
Open now,
and you just sitting there.
Let's go chop it up. We just
what are we doing here?
We come from a different perspective. Different perspective. I respect what you guys are saying. I respect what you guys are saying about the checklist, but try to apply that to NARPS. A lot of us are maybe corporate setting, not professional setting, right? If I'm hiring people, I'm not looking at color. I'm looking at, are you qualified? Are you qualified? Right?
But where they do that at? Where they do that at?
Why I gotta feel out I'm black or non-Hispanic?
Asian.
Like why I gotta write that?
You guys
just
tell
like the
me,
Trump
but
thing, felon or no felon.
Young black males have been told to change their names to look more, I don't know the right word.
All I gotta say is when I walk into a job interview, and it's been very few times, but even at an athletic experience, you've done it. When I walked into ESPN and it was a white guy, and I was like, okay, nothing new. And then he was like, hey, Marcellus, what year did you graduate? I said, 97. He said, I'm a Lion too, Columbia. So the color could be the connection, the history could be the connection, how do I connect with you? And the color's the easiest one because I ain't got to ask you any questions. It's my lazy assumption. But you never been looked at when you walked in the meeting like, oh.
He's Asian? Yeah.
Of course you have.
Every time I walk in this room.
Yeah. We're here right now. We like, man.
No, hold on, but let me go back to why it's saying,
especially your name Jerome.
There can be reverse racism, right? Because if I'm looking at, like, everyone's got limited amount of time to interview people, right? So if I got to interview 5 people, I'm going to look for the 5 most qualified. But if I'm forced to have to pick 2 people of color,
I might be at 7 instead of 5.
Instead of having 5 10s to interview, right? So then those 2 people who got booted out are saying, well, how come I'm not getting the opportunity?
I think
you got to take your sister homegirl out on the day too.
Corporate has nothing to do with those 32 NFL owners.
That's what I'm saying.
The only thing that I worry about when I hear that, because there's always the assumption that when we say qualified, that the minority candidate is not
qualified, right?
And so what I would say is most people don't hire outside of their circle. Just like we don't, like if I need a contract, I may call you, Richie, hey man, do you know anybody that needs someone to work in my house? It's a relationship business. But because a lot of the people that are doing the hiring.
No, because you said it like if he was the contractor, he's black. And you would call him, do you know anybody to work on my house?
Because
call somebody else.
No, because I know
let him live.
As a point of reference, not Anything beyond that.
Everybody here is based on relationship. Like, I know other people. I'm like, I'm gonna call my dogs
Excuse
first.
me, sister, but can you tap
Catch
that
that
white girl?
Chris Spencer.
Listen, I just want to say is
Chris, that's the homie. Yeah.
you need the Rooney Rule because, like I touched on, to create the opportunity. It's just like, and it's going a little deeper in conversation, but you see when the Supreme Court ended affirmative action, right?
And they should have. Look at your face.
Some-
I'm hoping you take that. I'm hoping you take that.
He baited me.
Man, I don't need no
But
help.
you see-
I got this, homie.
Are there black kids that are going to get into Harvard? Of course they are.
Of course.
But you see, as soon as they ended it, it dropped. The numbers dropped.
Because the numbers was already low. I know what you're
They
saying.
were already
I
low,
know.
but
It's
I'm just
wrong.
saying you
It's
need
wrong.
that in place to at least create those opportunities. Because
Yeah.
if certain things aren't there, then automatically we're going to slowly get weeded out.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay. This is not a detour, but it's certainly an off ramp we might take. You might see, like, you ever been on a freeway and be like, damn, this is in and out right there? I'm like, in and out always be out by the freeway too. You're like, damn, I can hit that. Okay. Affirmative action. To feel like you actually have benefited from affirmative action, does that discount your accolade, your result? Because for me, when somebody came to me one day, and like I hear it a lot, but one time it hit me. Somebody's like, you got into Columbia because you black? And I was like,
How dare you?
No, it's because
I clutched my pearls. I was like, wait a minute.
He's a big athlete.
All those sleepless nights, all those times I was in that workbook studying and learning words I didn't know the day before, those players I ran over, like I was like, this didn't culminate in just I qualified. It culminated in you close, but you ain't third generational. Like I went to school with Cat. The wealthiest of the wealthiest in the Ivy League. I mean, I ain't even trying to clown nobody who else didn't go. It's just a whole different animal. Like, it's the third generation landing in a helicopter with $25,000 a month as his monthly allowance. Talking about, you want to go to the pub? And I'm like, what are you talking about that I don't know about? I went through that experience and it hit me and I was like, I will feel so undercut if I ever benefited from affirmative action. And a lot of my people tell me, dummy, of course you did.
What they call you?
You dummy.
He was waiting.
Just saying.
Carver,
Did I make it up, Carver?
That's the card.
You're right. What, like,
But you do need it though.
nah.
But you know what you did? You did something that you did in the previous conversation.
You don't need it.
You did something that you did in a previous conversation where you talked about your specific experience and if you felt you needed it, but everybody's not in your shoes, and there are the flip side of that. There's those black
Do
kids
you vote?
that did the
Do
grades.
you vote for everybody else or you vote for you? You just told
Well, no,
me,
but what I'm saying
you told
is-
me the last conversation to vote for you.
You do have to vote for
I
you.
did not
But
need
me
it.
voting for me doesn't mean that my eyes are closed to everything else that's going on.
Ooh,
So there's other kids who had those grades.
I see you struggling.
There's other kids that had those grades that didn't get in.
This is Justin.
Those kids do need
He
that.
did flip flops.
No.
Come on, man. Stop.
I'm still saying you vote for you, but that doesn't mean you're blind to everything else that's going
To
on.
what we do.
Two things can be true.
You're not true.
Two
You just
things
on the
can
bus
be
with
true.
me.
It's not true.
I'm a driver. Was it a truck, a trailer?
Oh,
Truck.
he's a trailer.
That's
He's
right.
driving the trucks and trailers. Marcellus is the truck, you're the trailer.
You're a trailer. You're a trailer.
But what we're saying,
I'm
what
giving
we're saying
facts.
is we're talking about opportunities because in all of that, when we're talking about hiring whatever, everyone talks about the most qualified, whatever, but there's benefits to those who are different than you. And it may not just be grades or what's on your resume or whatever, but if we're talking about being open and trying to be open to what others can provide, maybe they didn't have the best grades, but they provide something else that enabled the company to go to a higher level. So what you're doing is trying to create opportunities to think a little outside of the box and having the conversation. Doesn't mean that it happens, but you at least want to engage in the conversation.
I like all that. I like all that. Look,
But
first
that's
of all,
not the answer.
I learned a lot. I learned
the same thing.
You're over here saying, get what you get it out the mud or whatever in our first segment, and now you're coming back over. I'm just like, I don't.
Hey, me and you, we are Democrats for life because you are a fake Republican. I thought you was a real
Independent. That's the
Y'all gotta
problem.
watch
I'm
that if
independent.
y'all don't know
I
what
can
we're
see
talking about.
both sides. I
You
can see
have
both sides of the spectrum. I didn't flip on anything. What did I flip on?
Hold on, I'm asking you, Snoop, are you performing or not?
I didn't flip on anything. You got to. What did I flip on?
I'm performing.
Everything I said was fact-based.
Snoop Dogg is gone.
You flip like Simone Biles.
And nobody
You
knows.
flip like Simone Biles,
Nobody's
bro.
telling me what I feel.
You
Nah,
went
we
like
mess with-
Simone
we mess with-
Biles.
Get off the fence.
You did a triple Lindsay.
Yeah, he did.
Like
He
Rodney
did.
Dangerfield.
I lost my homie. All right, I'm gonna give him a chance to redeem himself because I know this. He gonna kill it on this topic. Drake. This boy knows some hip hop. Drake. We got to get through this quick because I'm getting texts from the producers. They're probably saying the mics are going low. Drake. Let's talk about him suing UMG. Let's talk about him suing like influencers. He's suing everybody. Like he dropped the lawsuit to bring it back up and it just went pow. And I'm like, the Drake I know I'm never gonna lose because I know I can put it on my Drake playlist and be good. Y'all not gonna ever talk me out of this. I don't care if I believe him or not because I don't believe you either. Like you either live the world outside or inside, they say, outside or inside your window. I live the world inside my window. I saw all this gangster stuff. I wasn't gangster. Like Drake ain't gotta be what he's saying. But y'all making it seem like that. What are y'all making this lawsuit? And is it crazy or is it real?
This is exactly what you said when there's an argument in the locker room and somebody brings up money, right? If you bring up, he's bringing up money. I have the money to sue them on some technicality shit.
Yeah.
So he
You
already
sure it ain't
lost.
contingency? It could be contingency where the lawyer's like, we ain't getting paid. You bring in that Universal Music Group? Oh, that's major. That's headlines for us. So I don't believe it's the money argument.
No,
Don't argue that because you just didn't believe.
No
and think of that.
law firm is. I had this conversation with a friend of mine who is a managing director at a law firm that specializes in employment law. He was like, "This is a flex." Ooh, good point. He said straight up, "This is a flex." He's trying to flex. He's trying to legislate his cool. He's trying to say, "You guys made me not cool. You gave people a platform for me to not be cool."
I think it's selective by him to say it now because he's obviously benefited from them forcing him to be cool. Because Drake is not the coolest dude. I'm not the coolest dude, so I know not the coolest dude. I recognize you, Drake. Like you're not that guy. But Cam Newton. But the point is, you benefited off not being that guy. Now you're mad that he's that guy.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So now he wants to take people to court because now everybody sees he ain't cool, and there's somebody cooler than him. That's bringing up the money issue when you've already lost the argument.
Good point.
That's like yo mama. Okay, whatever. You ain't got nothing else to say.
There's nothing better than when somebody say your mama and you be like, and
what?
So?
Right.
Like, all right, my mama dead and people say your mama. I'm like, okay. And they be like, damn, that's all I got.
That's
I'm like,
it.
all right, now,
This is all he got.
You know what I mean?
If he were a true artist that was like straight up in it, he would just drop another song.
I don't know.
Listen,
I don't know. He's playing a lot of sideline games.
He done been it for 15 years.
No, he's the
But
no
he
no.
been cold. He
He's
been
the
cold for
player.
past year.
He's
For
the
past
player that
year.
says now. Only reason you beat me because your coaches are better. Only reason you beat me because you played at home. The only reason you beat me is because we had turnovers. It's like that's all the same stuff.
Excuses.
He a sore
That
loser.
is why you beat me.
He a sore loser.
He's a sore loser.
He a sore
You wanna know
loser.
who else is a sore
He a
loser?
sore loser
Michael
and he
Jordan
being
was a sore
petty
loser.
right now.
Yeah.
He a sore loser. He
But
being
what's
petty
wrong with
because he
that,
can't
though?
do it.
What's wrong with that, though?
Get it to him. Why is it deeper?
So, one, I don't think he should sue. I think that's crazy. But this goes back to the last conversation when just because I don't agree with something, I can still see the other side of the argument. On hit when you called me a flip-flopper.
no, that's not what happened in the last conversation. You flip-flopped. You flip-flopped.
I'm giving you both sides of the spectrum.
Stop.
I'm doing the same thing right now. Let me take you to school, Richie. Come here. So, like this, he shouldn't be
You did
suing.
flip-flop, though.
I know it's easy to say he's doing it just because he's jealous or whatever the case may be. But I think how he's looking at it is because he has to renegotiate that contract with them real soon because the one he's under now is about to end. Now, from his mind says he feels like, hey, y'all are putting all this money up for him to bring my value down so that when it's time to renegotiate, you don't got to give me what I really deserve. So if you're doing that, the only way I can combat that and get my money is by suing you because now you're going to have to pay me that money in a lawsuit. And then when it's time to renegotiate, I'm gonna get the rest of it.
Hold on.
That's
Okay,
a lot
so
deeper
that-
than what I know.
Hold on.
So-
Hold on.
yeah.
You
So
got
wait a minute.
no. Don't rush through that. We here together.
I'm saying he's
That
making
is
sense.
the deepest point I've heard on this. Everybody's been killing Drake, and he like, I know I'm about to take an L, but y'all the reason I'm taking the L by playing the same game you play with me, you playing with him. That's fine.
Yeah,
but why
but-
do I have to take an L by your game?
But see, here's the thing. They have played that game to Drake's advantage also.
We just said that.
Right, so
but
I'm
the
saying-
point is that somebody got to be the one that says, "You, the game got to stop."
Hey,
You're not gonna let me
but look
do
about
this
this.
on me. I can't
What's the
take that
name of
on.
the What's the
That's
name of the
your
music?
game.
What's the name of the music label that's doing this?
Lucian.
UMG.
Lucian.
Hey, it's many other teams out there though.
Not bigger than them.
Out
Not
You
bigger
wanna
than
win a
them.
chip.
They the
There's
biggest.
many
You
other
wanna win a
teams
chip.
out there.
Yeah, they the biggest though.
You wanna
like, you
win
can
a
go
chip.
get your money somewhere else. You see it in
You can go
sports.
on
You
Ruthless.
see that in sports.
You
There's
can go
players
on
that leave
Ruthless.
great franchises to
Def
go get
Jam.
their money from somewhere else, and then what happens? They lose. If you could stay with the winning team and get your money, why wouldn't you?
There's a weird way I'm feeling this right now where someone could play with your money, and because it's the norm, they act like, well, what you supposed to do? But you know, like, norm or not, it shouldn't have happened to me. And it shouldn't happen to we, but who gonna be the one to stand up and say it's me? And somehow, some way, I swear, I did a 180. Because I was looking at Drake like, man, this is suspect. This is soft with no T. Now I'm listening, I'm like, yo, he might be over there champion. This is the way it's supposed to be. Like, y'all ain't, I should have won, you're right, off of y'all funking it, faking it, getting me somewhere I shouldn't have been. But now since I see you doing it to someone else, I'm gonna take the L. It's not the opportune time. It would have been better when he was up top. I give you that, but that doesn't mitigate the point. That doesn't undermine the point that I deserve what I deserve. Drake still get billions of streams. Like, he's still that dude. He's still that dude, and now we gonna make him feel like he's nothing just because he lost a battle with Kendrick Compton.
Right.
You're gonna lose. Anytime you
Oh,
beef with Compton.
stop it. Canada.
Anytime you beef with Compton, you
Well,
gonna beef.
isn't that how it goes? 2 men enter, 1 man leaves.
Yeah.
He entered the arena.
Hey, what if that's
He
What did he
volunteered.
lose, though? What did he lose?
Well, he lost his cool, obviously. He obviously
What's-
lost because now he's going.
Does his cool have a price
now he's
tag on it?
litigating.
Does his cool have a price tag? I don't see it that way. I agree with you. I just don't see it that way.
Dog, you so old, you don't understand. These kids don't want to hear that. These kids. Look, I don't play the pause game, like for real, but I play it for fake. And dog, you are a violator. Like, dog.
Well, what do you mean? And that's why.
No, even worse. You don't know what we mean. I ain't gonna tell you my Cameron. I gotta tell you my Cameron story another day. I love Cameron so much. He was like one of my favorite rappers for real. Dog, he gonna text me one time and say, yo, get that OG right. He gonna get you right, dog. All right, that's it for the episode. Number 4 of On the Rocks.
On the
I
Rocks.
can't believe how many times we found. Dog, we in trouble after this episode. This was a lot. This was my favorite episode because it's the last episode, but we really went there. What we want to do, seriously, let's just sum it up. We really want to talk about what's really going on without, look, I'm looking around and seeing success. They tell me I can't see it this many places, this many faces. And I'm like, you're lying. I'm looking around and seeing how many people have different perspectives that are all respectful, respectable, respected. And I just want to keep bringing that together so that this can be extracted to the world at large. It'll take time. We're going to bake this cake, and then when it comes out, people are going to love and enjoy it. So appreciate all you guys, my real ones, for rocking with On the Rocks. Appreciate you guys.
We appreciate being here.
Oh,